All right, welcome there, folks. We are back with part 2 of the civilization game that we started last week. This is going to be a continuation of William's Cultural Challenge. Good to have you here, Burninator. So these streams are going to be a little inconsistent in terms of when they start and in terms of how long they run, just because we're running them in between when our little baby William needs to be fed and taken care of. So he is asleep right now. We'll see how long he sleeps. Probably can stream for about 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer, and then we'll have to get him, if he's still asleep, we'll have to get him up to feed him again. But we're going to continue the game from last time and see what we've got here. So this is not a particularly crazy variant. We're playing on Emperor. The goal is to win by culture without using the culture slider. Had a really good opener last time, in part because Willem the Dutch leader, not our son William. Willem the Dutch leader is a very strong leader in unrestricted leaders, Civilization 4. So got out to what, 5 cities so far? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 cities so far. There's another settler on the way, about to plant another city up here for fish and a second golden, more horses. And then we've still got this backlines to settle into. And then maybe someday we'll be able to get another city over here. And then it looks like we're alone on this island with Wang Khan. So I'm still keeping my fingers crossed that maybe we'll be able to get this Oracle build to finish. I'm going to chop this, so I can probably finish in about 5 turns with this forest chop. So here's hoping that we'll be able to land that. Alright, let's go ahead and keep going then and see what happens. So I'm going to have these workers continue this. I'm going to do the chop mine. Oh yeah, we ended the last session with these barbarians getting chased off. Had like this big run of barbarians pop up. Okay, so let's see what's actually over here. Oh, there's another fish resource. Ooh, means we can get a decent city over here. Obviously it's in the back line, so there's no immediate rush. Alright, we have an axe here. Probably want combat 1, but there's no rush. We can just heal up for right now. And you were protecting this settler until we could get an actual unit over here. And this, is it worthwhile to one-pop with the granary here? Pull a trend low. We're just getting started, so I gotta remember what I was doing last time. Is it worthwhile to one-pop with the granary? Probably. Yeah, probably is worthwhile to do that. One pop with the granary next turn, overflow in the library. Because we're still trying to get control of this tile here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Alright, yeah. By the way, I know that we're just starting, but we're going to need a name for that city next turn. So feel free to suggest. Okay, you I think I was going to have poke around over here. We still want to try to get this stone resource if possible, just because we can use it for wonder building. But it's in a very dry portion of the map. Alright. Let me just check my whip timings. Alright, so we've got a goldfish. Actually, that's a great name. Golden fish. Name it goldfish. So we still need more cottages here. Ah, that's right. There's a worker on cottage duty right here. And Paradise had to emergency whip, so we're still waiting that out. It's about to grow onto unimproved tiles, so we could use more worker labor here. Actually, it's going to just grow into unhappiness. That's okay though. We can use that for whipping. It's okay to grow into unhappiness. You can always like we'll probably triple whip a settler out of here, honestly. All right, still doing the Oracle here, and that's it. The other city's brand new. It's just growing on this. Now we're gonna have to chop the granary. I think we had to chop out a unit here, unfortunately. We refuse to research rifling once it's available. That's great. Also, thanks for subscribing, Picard out. Always nice to hear that. Alright, so we're going to connect this. And that'll actually get another happy face, so then we won't actually be growing into unhappiness at Paradise, because we'll have another happy face from the gold coming in. Not that I have a tile for it to work, we're going to have to cottage some of this stuff. But that'll be finished next turn. And then here we're going to need to chop a workboat. We probably chop this for a workboat. We're going to have math, so the chop would finish the workboat. Otherwise, this city doesn't really have any food. Good thing we're creative, so the borders pop automatically. Does modern armor require rifling? I don't know if modern armor does. Tanks do, though. Tanks actually do require. If you look at the Civilopedia, tanks, see, they do actually require rifles. Does modern armor? Modern armor looks like it does not, for what it's worth. Alright, anyway, so that city goldfish is garbage on turn of founding, but we'll be able to chop this. These workers can come up here, chop this, and then as soon as the fish is connected, the city's worthwhile. Alright, so here we're going to do the rare mine plus chop simultaneously. Instead of chopping, normally you chop then mine, but since we're actually working this tile, we want to do the slower version. And that should also cause the chop to come in after math is finished. So this will be in 4 turns. Oracle should finish in 4 turns with that chop. Alright. So we'll definitely want a city take advantage of that fish resource. It's probably here, honestly. Obviously the fish is in the second ring, but that's okay. Could also put it here, but oh well. And the other chariot. Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on what's going on over here. We need a city that's called Williamstown as well, probably. Yeah, this is the right tile to work for the moment until we can get that cottage down. We still need more workers. When I went double settler, I knew I was going to outpace workers by a decent margin. Just keeping my fingers crossed every turn that the Oracle does not get finished by someone out in the fog. Oh, hello, another fish. Okay. Well then, that means we can actually have cities that are not garbage back here. We can just work all these water tiles with financial bonus plus the dike. These will actually be decent cities to have someday. This, of course, needs to get burned down. We're not going to found on the gold tile, but okay, we'll have some decent backlines here. Right, so that cottage is done, so we're going to flip over to that cottage. And you guys need to support this city, Goldfish. We need to get that. This city is useless until the fish is connected. But instead of wasting a turn, moving over here, we can actually do something productive and move over here on road. En route to getting to that tile. So you can move there next turn, then you move there, and then there. Alright, and this chop is almost done. Finish math. There we go, this will finish it. And then the next tech we need to do is sailing, because we need to get lighthouses for our water cities. Okay, looking good. This is probably the next city dumped here, just to lock down this corner. And then this chariot will be able to see you come over here and dot map this corner of the map as well. Alright, math is in.
If in other sciences,
Hanging gardens will be nice if we can get it down the road.
And truth without
Alright,
error,
so as I said, we want sailing. It's very cheap.
Of knowledge in mathematics.
We're still break even at 50%, so we're actually in pretty good shape. It helps that we have this. Oh, I never whipped this, did I? Well, I think it's still worthwhile to whip. I should have done this sooner, though. I missed the whip timing here. Well, so grow back. Actually, we can do this for 1 turn. this warrior way back here. I'm trying to get this to 10 XP so I can build Heroic Epic, but it is just a warrior, so... Alright, you just keep right on dropping cottages. Okay. Yeah, I wish that this city were not right here. Gonna make it very hard to access that stone. Oh, I was curious what the culture. Yeah, we're falling behind slightly in culture on this tile. We're a little bit further behind. How about this tile? It's the same on both of these. But Paradise should pop borders relatively soon. Well, not that soon, 43 turns. Because right now, Paradise right now has 40% borders, so Paradise's culture extends to these 3 tiles, and then here, when it pops borders again, it'll expand culture up to this tile. So with Paradise helping Desert Lullaby, we should be able to get control of this tile. Also Goldfish, 20. Once Goldfish hits 100 culture, it's going to be putting culture on these tiles as well. So we should gain control of these tiles down the road. Okay. I gotta be thinking about when I'm whipping next. So we'll finish the library. And then I'd probably double whip a worker next out of the capital. Paradise, I think, can triple whip a settler. Yeah, it's actually very close to being able to do that. Oof, look at this. We're working this garbage tile. I'm like, do we just want to start working this, building a settler right now? Actually, I think we do. Just let's start working on that right now. This is a small map, so there's 5 total civs. It's me and 4 AI opponents. It appears as though we've drawn some AIs that are not super into wonder building. Okay, I think that this chop will come very close to finishing the Oracle. Yeah, I think that we finish it on the following turn, so I think that if it doesn't get taken on this inner turn, I think we get it on turn 84. Let's see. Alright, we finished that there, in the capital. Want to build Stonehenge? It's very cheap. No. But, you know, if we can connect the stone, maybe we make a play for something here. Anyway, I said we're going to double whip out a worker, because we definitely need more worker labor. Alright, granary done. Actually, you can stay at size 2 for right now. Overflow into library, because we're trying to get culture. And Goldfish is working this tile, so it has some... Wait, what the... Oh. Gotta take that back. There we go. Okay. So you're going to go chop that. You can do something more useful. We are 45 culture points behind, 46 culture points behind right now. We just started today's session. Just started. I think I want you to go improve those horses next. So that you're not wasting worker turns. Cancel that. I'm hoping you do not die by moving next to a barb over here. This is as far as we can go here. Alright, and 3 archers. Okay, so we're not going to be capturing this in the immediate future. We're going to need more units for that. You can stand over here and keep an eye out for barbs. Alright, there we go. So remember, the player always wins tiebreakers in this game, so we're going to get the Oracle. Yay! That's going to be worth a good bit of culture and get us a free tech. So now the question is, what tech do we take with the Oracle? Is a really good question. So let's think about this. So some obvious candidates. If we needed more money, currency would be good. Yeah, meditation. Meditation. Currency would be good if we needed more money, but I think we're actually doing okay economically. Metal casting is the most expensive tech. Actually, no, it's not. Theology is the most expensive tech. There's also Code of Laws. So normally I think what I would go for here would probably be metal casting. But remember, our goal for this game is cultural victory, and so we want to control as many religions as possible. I'm thinking we might want to slingshot Code of Laws just to make sure no one can get that tech. just to like take it off the board. Alternatively, we could just try to grab Theology, but I don't think anyone's going to grab Theology. Note that Apostolic Palace is turned off for this game. I think it's probably we grab Code of Laws, just that to make sure as we get another religion. We should get, at some point, we should get a spread of Hinduism to us from Wang Khan. So this will get us a third religion, with Hinduism as the second. And then we can try to lock down Theology down the road too. So I think it's Code of Laws. Plus we can even build courthouses. They're not discounted because we're not organized. But I think, it does give us another useful thing to build. It's a shame we're not spiritual because I could pop into caste system for some fun stuff, but can't do that here. So yeah, I think we're going to go Code of Laws with our free tech and just lock down a second religion here. Effectively 3, because Hinduism's going to spread eventually. I'm kind of hoping it'll spread to like goldfish. All right, but for the time being, we're still on sailing. I'll just do this in 2 turns. Yeah, there we go. Also unlocks the sweet spy specialist. Yeah, seriously. All right, so we can whip this. I'm going to go 1 more turn just to get some more overflow into the library. I'm going to go 1 more turn, and then I think we drop it here because I don't think I can support another city. I guess we could go here, but no. Let's grab this spot. It's not good or anything, but you can at least work the sheep, and that's a 4 food tile. Yeah, I think we lock down this spot. And then we can always see if we just dump a city on the stone later. Still worth it to make a play for Great Lighthouse? It might actually. I'm assuming GL is Great Lighthouse. It might actually, because we will have a fair number of cities. It's not like it's that expensive either. We'll see. I don't have a good spot for chopping, but like Beach Episode does have good production, so maybe Beach Episode. We'll see. We'll get the granary, get the lighthouse, and then maybe we can make a play for it after that. Good suggestion though. Great Lighthouse is never really a bad option. All right. Anyway, so we've got 2 guys here. I'm gonna road this tile while they're here because I want to start roading towards, and then I'll probably road towards this spot. But anyway, yeah. Now so this means East Korea is more likely to be one of our legendary cities, just because it's going to have the culture from the Oracle. And it does have good production long term. Like if we can build a levee here long term, I believe we can build one on this spot because we're on the river. Like if we build a levee and farm everything, this actually does have pretty good production to build wonders. 1, 2, 3, 4 hill tiles, a lot of plains tiles. Farm this. Are corporations off the board? I hadn't really thought about it, so the answer is I'm not sure. We can decide down the road. Good question though. All right, so here's our free tech. Interesting that it suggested construction. If we just wanted to plow over Wang Khan, I'm sure we could do that. But no. We even have ivory, so we could build war elephants, and I'm sure we could crush him, but that's not the goal of this game. So we will take Code of Laws, and let's see where it pops up. I think it's going to pop up in that city on the north coast, because I believe it's the only one that doesn't have a religion in it. Not that that's going to do anything for us right now. All right. Oracle is worth a lot of culture, which is nice. 6 culture per turn, I think it is, or is it 8? 8, even better. Nice. So yeah, now we go up to 11 culture per turn. So one other little detail that is easy to miss in Civ 4. This is actually a holdover from Civ 3. The culture of anything you build doubles after 1,000 years. It's not a set number of turns, it's after 1,000 years. So like it's 775 BC right now. This will double to 16 culture in 225 AD. Just kind of an interesting little detail. All right, let's have you do the library as well. So building cultural stuff early can actually be pretty valuable. Oh no, Beach Episode got it. Okay, that's actually better. That's a better spot. I mean, it makes sense because this city also didn't have religion in it. And remember, it's basically weighted by population as far as where it pops up. So this was size 1, this was size 2. So we basically had 2 to 1 odds. And Stonehenge built on somewhere else out there. I did not think that we would get Stonehenge, and we did not get it. All right, well, this was nice. We'll take this, send this back to the capital. And here's our double whip on the worker. Or hold on, can I wait one more? I can wait one more turn, and it'll still be a double whip, and we'll get more overflow. So let's do that. All right, you start chopping. Obviously, it's not in borders right now, but it will be by the time you get over there. And then you, unfortunately, have to waste a worker turn moving to get over there. I'm okay with you just chilling over here for right now to make sure barbs don't spawn. All right, so we are going to whip the settler here. 3 pop. I'd rather have you work that for this turn. And then your overflow actually should come close to finishing that library. All right. Oh, there's a decent spot for a city over there. Axes don't actually get very good odds. See, this axe does not have odds to kill this, so we probably need swords or something better to kill those archers. Unfortunately, they're on a hill, which is not ideal. If this was on flat ground, we'd have much better odds to kill these, but on a hill is not great. So, yeah. Unfortunately, this city does not get the culture because we're not running this as our state religion, but that's okay. So this city beach episode is going to be pretty weak for the time being, but I did need it for copper, to get copper connected. And goldfish, we know that as soon as it has the workboat, it'll be a much better city. All right. So what's the next wonder we'd make a play for? Probably the pyramids if we can get stone. That would be useful to have. Hanging Gardens is not urgent. Temple of Artemis is a lot, and we don't have marble, so maybe, but it's a lot. It's an expensive wonder. East Korea we probably won't whip. We'll just let this city grow manually over time. I might need a pit stop to pick up meditation so I can get monasteries soonish too. And I wouldn't mind being able to build archers for military police, because now I lost the ability to build warriors.
You can't direct the wind, but you can adjust your sails.
Let's do this for the time being. As I said, I wouldn't mind getting archers. Okay, I almost accidentally clicked on that. All right, this area did not have any more awesome seafood lurking in the lurking out there. Okay, so now for one of the dice rolls, the religious spread dice roll. If there's already a religion in a city, the odds that the missionary will succeed is 90%, but that is not 100%. 10% odds for this to fail. Seven Spirits at Realms Beyond used to say this was his least favorite thing about Civ4. I'm trying to spread a religion to a city that already has a religion, and it's a dice roll. All right, so we succeeded in the 90% dice roll. Once you get up to like 4 or 5 religions, it starts getting pretty tough to spread them in the city, but do I want to build on this tile or this tile? Probably this tile, because then we're next to the sheep. Note that I'm canceling these orders. And I'm fine. Again, I'm fine to have you just staying here playing zone defense, scouting. Yeah, you can sometimes fail to get religion to spread a whole bunch of turns in a row. Okay, I'm going to cancel this just so that next turn I can make sure that this is getting full value. All right. Also, I'm going to send this to here so that this can then take this tile back, because this is a more important city. Desert Lullaby. We'll be able to work fish plus horses. No, the RNG is random in this game, for what that's worth. Oh, look at this. We're closing the gap. Look at this. Desert Lullaby is only 36 culture points behind, or is that the same as it was before? In any case, once the library is done, which will be soon, we'll be closing in there, and I'll probably try to get a monastery in here soon too. This is a pretty good, because this city gets way better if it can control this tile, like way better. I would bulldoze down the cottage to farm. And we would actually get both of these tiles too. So this is probably going to be a production city that like supports some of these other. I think these are probably the 3 legendary cities: Cradle, Paradise, East Korea. So everything else is going to be supporting these cities down the road. All right, so Paradise, got to get that going. And for lack of other stuff to work on, well, we will have to do the temple eventually, but for right now, actually the courthouse is not really needed right now, so maybe we do just dump production into a temple. Something like that. All right. Oh, whoops, I guess I never whipped here. Oops. Well, here's what we'll do. We'll finish the worker, and then we'll double whip another worker, because Lord knows we need more workers. We'll just let this finish and then double whip another worker, because I forgot about the initial worker timing. Excellent. This is great. Now we have access to all 3 religions on the island. I was hoping this would happen. Excellent. So we will be wanting to spread that around long term. Are we going to use the woods at Cradle for something? I'm sure that we'll put them towards some kind of wonder down the road. At the moment, I'm not using them, but as I said, I suspect we'll use them eventually. Okay. You're building that. That's right. You need to finish this. There we go. That'll finish the workboat. You come here, finish the road. Our settler will be able to found next turn. So you can come over here and might as well start the road. Bit of a bare desert patch over there. Cancel that because we're going to be... Oh, we're going to need a name for the city next turn too, so feel free to start thinking about potential options there. Any more seafood on the northern coast? No. Okay. No, the rest of the northern coast is kind of a wasteland. And your job, Axe, is going to be to patrol and make sure barbs don't come charging in so that we can avoid another barbarian disaster. All right, so where do we want to found... Where do we want to dot map? We've already got these cities dot mapped here. So we want a city that makes use of these 2 resources. So I'm trying to think where we can put that. That's also taking advantage of the green tiles in this area. So this is going to use this. All right, so probably want something. I think it was this tile here was what we were thinking of. Because this takes advantage of all the green tiles in the area. We could actually found this even before we capture the Barb City just to take advantage of this tile. So that goes there, and then that'll be able to use, as I said, the green tiles in this area. All right, so then last city we'll want to be put on the coast. This is a dead area over here. Probably here. Probably. It's a lowish priority. Obviously it misses that other wine tile, but that's okay. That's not that valuable of a tile. And then I guess there's like an extreme filler location over here that's just water tiles. This is like the lowest. This is the real poverty point. Which will be the very last one. Could you just flip? I mean, you can eventually. It is possible to flip the barbs eventually. It's not an X, that's a Z. But it's still worth having, especially if we're able to get like Great Lighthouse down the road. Would still be worth having. All right. So workboat will connect this, and then we'll be working this at these 2 tiles. But outside of this fish tile, this is a pretty sad city. Let's see, this is 6 food with a lighthouse. So working this tile drops it down to 4 food, and we probably can't go lower than that. Although this might end up being the Moai City just for lack of options. It's either that or Beach Episode is the Moai City. Again, neither one looking very strong, but only so many options there. City next to Barb, 1 north. This would have let's just see. Hold on. Yeah, but I think this spot's better because it claims this tile, a green tile, as opposed to getting this tile. It's close though. And no corn in the first ring. It's pretty close. I think it's a good suggestion, but it's pretty close. I think that I slightly prefer this spot, but it's very close, as stated. All right. So what next to... All right. So for the moment, Cradle has sufficient tiles. So I think I'm going to have you come over up here and toss down another cottage for Paradise. This tile is also a priority to road. I know we had a suggestion that this was a good tile to road. So why don't we do that while you're here? Because like right now, no construction means no bridge here, no bridge here. If you road this tile, you can actually move like 1, 2, 3, 4 and avoid the river crossing penalty. Also, we would need to get up here anyway for these tiles. Also need to get some attention here at East Korea. We're working this tile. I'd prefer to farm these. I'm actually okay with this city just sitting at like low food for lack of other options, but I wouldn't mind like dropping this to get up to at least 3 food per turn when there's nothing super critical to build. I also think I'll have this city maybe build some units, because I do need, like, I have a chariot guarding a city up here. I'd like a defender for this city, which currently is not going to have one. So maybe get some archers.
Do not throw the arrow which will return against you.
It's too bad that this stone resource isn't like 1 or 2. It's too bad it's not on this tile. If it were here, we could just claim it with the city here. All right, I actually do want monasteries. So I'm going to grab this, in part for the culture and in part because then I can spread religion using it. And then we'll see what we go for after that. Might be monarchy for hereditary rule and wines. Might be metal casting. We'll have to see. Might be ironworking, so we can see if there's iron and maybe try to take that Barb City. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. So get me an archer or two. Actually, you should build a barracks if you're going to build units. Even though I don't expect these units ever to see combat. Actually, no. These units are just military police. Hopefully they won't have to see combat, as stated. Alright. So you've now defogged the whole north. Let's just keep you in... Oh, hello, there's a barbed worker there. Well, that'll be convenient if we can capture that. It's not going to happen on this turn, but... because they'll retreat that, but... Alright. So, what's our name for this city? Was there a suggestion in chat? If there's a suggestion in chat, I missed what to call this one. They all pop up as Amsterdam because that's the default name. So this is not going to be a particularly great city, but, you know, it's got 8 tile for food. This is 4 food. This actually becomes food neutral down the road. Willemstad, or Williams City. Hope he's not too disappointed that this city's kind of lousy. Alright. So we're going to connect the sheep. Still defogging tiles over there. And yeah, you're just patrolling the wilderness. Alright. So this will be done. There's no need to get you over here. Probably you come over here and mine this gold resource, honestly. Alright, so you're going to finish that. And Desert Lullaby is still recovering from its whip penalty. Capital's about to whip out another worker. And then, yeah, we'll probably just keep pushing out more settlers here for the time being. Get a few more of these spots settled. This spot in particular would be also useful just to keep the barbs down, push them back a little bit. I can whip this in 2 turns. It probably is worthwhile to whip this, just to get the granary done faster. And then we can start on the lighthouse after that. With the lighthouse, this becomes 5 food. William's not old enough to do tile analysis, no. How close we're getting. Oh, looks like we fell behind a little. Oh no, actually we're still exactly the same distance. We're still 36 culture behind. So I guess we're sitting at like the exact same rate. Need this city to pop its borders. And then we'll grab control over more of these. But the library doubles the culture here, so anyway. We just whipped here, didn't we? Yeah. We definitely need to get another one of these tiles improved. This city is probably the one that needs the most improvement. I think I'll send this other worker along to help out with Paradise as well. Like this little area here is missing worker labor. Alright, so I said we're going to do double worker, whip this one, and then we'll probably grow on, I don't know, maybe one of these temples where I wish I was spiritual. Alright, anyway, so you finish that road, so then this worker can now move on that road. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I can road this tile to avoid wasting my turn. We want to cottage the riverside tiles first. Then next turn, this one can move here, road this, and then this worker goes 1, 2, and then we've avoided wasting any worker turns at all, and we're still improving tiles. Yeah, you're just hopping around here, making sure that you're defogging tiles. Same thing here. Woo. Just going to keep on patrol, keep the workers. Barbs down up. I am very glad we did not move north there. I could have moved north, instead I moved east. Well, that was lucky. Alright. Goldfish, now you have this. Now you'll grow to size 2. And work on improving that. Beach episode, one more turn to whip. Improve that. This archer will come down here. Oh, looks like we're short to finish meditation between turns. Look at that. We're like 1 beaker short. I can cram out an extra beaker. Hold on. There we go. I wanted this to finish between turns. Means beach up. Wait, can we do this? No. Can I get beakers from one other city? I want to finish this. East Korea. Nope, that's not enough. Beach episode, you're going to have to fall on your sword, because I want to finish meditation this turn.
Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of meditation leaves ignorance. Know well what leads you forward and what holds you back.
So what do we want next is the big question. I think we're safe for theology for the time being. I think we can delay in favor of other stuff. Let's see. We don't need horseback riding because we're not fighting. Metal casting would be nice. Could always make a play for the Colossus, which would be good. And get the Forge. I think it's probably Monarchy, though. Because I would like to get into Hereditary Rule. And I think it's Monarchy is the next most important next tech here. Okay. I'm going to have you build Monastery. I want to get that culture up. Because I want to flip into Hereditary Rule plus Organized Religion. I have to eat a turn of Anarchy for that, but that's okay. Alright, there we go. We're working these 2 tiles. Nice. Alright. You go back to that. We'll whip it next turn. We're going to whip this worker this turn. I didn't forget this time. I'll probably get the monastery here next. I think that's more important than building a courthouse, which is not a high priority. Alright, anyway. So as described before, you move here. Road. You move to this tile. Should probably cottage this tile because it can be exchanged back and forth between these 2 cities, but that's okay. I would like to have this tile roaded just so I have a surplus of horses in case I need to connect more horses. Okay. Barb suppression duty. Dude's running around there. Oh, cool, we've already connected this. That makes Willemstad a decent city for the time being. Alright, connect that. And we need to drop at least 1 cottage here. I do want to farm one of these tiles for... but I think while we're down here, let's drop the cottage, and then we can come up and farm one of those tiles. No, we're not not moving back there. Also, it's probably time to open borders with Wang Khan so that we can start getting a scout on him. We've kind of locked down the border pretty well. If you start sending a unit into my settler into my territory, I can always bounce him out. So let's go ahead and see if he'll sign up. Oh no, he actually doesn't want to sign open borders. Oh, okay. Well, fine then. Be that way, dude. He only has 3 cities. What is he doing? I was gonna scout out his territory, but he only has 3. He actually will not sign open borders with me because we have different religions. All right, well, be that way, buddy. I will keep the archer here in East Korea and move the warrior back down here because Willemstad is a little bit safer. And I do think I'm probably going to need to get an archer up here just so I have some kind of defense. All right, whip timer is ticking down there. Goldfish is not large enough to whip yet. Each episode is next turn, I think. Yeah, we just whipped the capital, which will grow back super fast. This worker can come down here, and we do need to repair this road to beach episode, and then I wouldn't mind funneling a chop in here so that I can get the lighthouse done faster. Yeah, he'll probably be my worst enemy, but that's okay. I'm not really concerned about him. I don't even think he has any strategic resources connected. Like, look, we have scouted most of his territory, so unless he has like iron or unless he has like copper or horses right here, he has no strategic resources that we can see. So he can only build like archers and warriors, which are not scary. In terms of the graphs, like we're way ahead in GMP, we're ahead in production, we're extremely ahead in food. We're actually ahead in power too, which seems ridiculous because we have like an army of cardboard cutouts, but we actually are ahead in that too. All right. Yeah, let's have you work on the monastery. Get you some more culture. Again, I don't see the point in going for the Temple of Artemis does not feel especially worthwhile to go for with no marble. And we'd like to get stone connected before we make a play for any of these. So, all right. I'm going to have you come down here. And rebuild this road connection first. You can put a turn into chopping so that we're not just wasting a turn of movement. We've got like this group of barbarians hanging out with us. This poor warrior is like stuck behind enemy lines now. Okay. Most important wonder to get would be Sistine for Sistine Chapel. Whether we'll be able to get that, hopefully we'll be in good shape to get that just because our research is outpacing them. All right. And we'll save money for the time being. All right, so we'll pick up this and then this. This tile we'd like to cottage too because this is also our riverside grassland. Has this been modded? So it's not modded. The only thing is the only change I've made is I did take out the Apostolic Palace just because I find that to be really annoying. Other than that, it's completely unmodded. Yeah, there's some copper over here, so eventually Korea should get copper at least. If they're really slow in settling, we might be able to sail boats over here to take territory on the western part of the island. But we've certainly locked down almost everything. Like their capital's right here. We've kind of locked down most everything in between us so far. I'm just trying to check to see if I'm missing anything here. Oh, oops, I actually didn't want the temple. I wanted the monastery. I guess I clicked on the wrong one. Oh, well. That's fine. We can do the temple first. We have a lot of unhappiness from whipping here anyway. That's okay. All right, so Desert Lullaby is going to finish this. This will double the culture. And then we'll see about taking control of this tile again. We're still sitting at 36 culture behind them. I'm going to need another tile for them to work. Yeah, I'm gonna need another tile for this city to work. Well, the tile I need it to work is this one, but it's not in my cultural control yet. Yep, the AP hammers would be useful. Agreed. Let's have you do the monastery for some more culture then. Alright. So you can run this. Judaism. Oh, we got a free. Nice. We got a free spread of our religion. Okay, and someone built Temple of Artemis. That means it was not. Yeah, I was gonna say it was not Korea because it would have said Korea built it. So someone out in the fog has built it. I'm glad we did not make a play for that religion or for that wonder. That would have been a waste of time. All right. Yep, I'm just gonna stay away from that axe over there. Okay, you were gonna repair this road. We don't need it for a trade route, but they keep trying to build that cottage. All right, so I need to avoid wasting time. I'm gonna road this tile. And then I'm gonna have you guys come up here and probably farm a couple of these riverside tiles. Okay. Meanwhile, all right, that looks fine there. But we want to work this tile because see, it's growth in 2 turns instead of 3 turns, so it's worthwhile to work this tile. All right, so Paradise now can work this. The city's at the happiness cap. This would be a good place to run some. You know what we should do? We should be running. This is a good place to run some science specialists, just because we've got the extra food. An early academy in the capital would not be bad. This is a pretty good. This will make a good bureaucracy capital, so would not be a bad idea to just run some scientists. Obviously, it's going to be slow, but we actually do have the excess food, so why not? And like it's still going to be growing into the happiness penalty. Okay, let's get the cottage down on this tile next. Come on, interface. All right, we are still 36 culture behind, but we're going to be catching up. We also get a huge, big surge of culture when we hit 100 culture. If we hit 100 culture before them, although I think we might hit it about the same time. So the way that this works, if you're curious, like the way that the culture points work, it's you get the amount of culture that the city produces plus 20 for each ring of culture that is like within the outermost ring. So like right now in the outer ring, Desert Lullaby puts 6 culture per turn on this tile because it's in the outermost ring. It puts 26 on this tile because it's 6, which is what the city produces, plus 20, and then 46 on this tile because again it's 2 rings in from the outermost. So right now, this is the outermost ring for Desert Lullaby, so it's putting 6 culture per turn. But when it hits 100 culture, it'll start putting 26 per turn on this tile. So yeah, that's why getting the borders to pop is so important. If people are curious like about how this actually works under the hood, I spent a lot of time playing around with the culture mechanics. I find them to be pretty interesting. All right, so this monastery. Yeah, by the way, this city is, with that oracle, is pumping out the culture now. I don't know that we'll ever be able to flip Wonsan. It's pretty far back there, but who knows? 20, 40, 60, 80. We will put culture on here if we can get it up to 5,000. So who knows? Maybe. Maybe someday. Probably not, but you never know. There's also a Korean city. I believe there's one on this tile right here. So I think if we get visibility on this tile, if we seize control of this, I think we'll have vision on this tile. I actually think we have good odds to flip this city because Goldfish plus Desert Lullaby plus Paradise will all put culture on this tile eventually. Anyway, I'm just babbling here. Let's just keep going. All right, finish the road. You come up here. And I don't think I can do this without wasting a worker turn. I guess I could put a cottage on this tile, but I don't actually want to cottage this tile. What I want to do is I want to bring irrigation down here. Like I'd like to farm this tile long term, but I need civil service for that. So I think we just bite the wasted turn, come up here, and be prepared. Alright. Nope. Just scouting. Just scouting. Or Desert Lullaby. Alright, so. Yeah, look at that. Now we cut into that culture lead, although not by much. It was 36, now it's 34. So they're obviously producing 3 culture per turn, and we're getting 5 per turn, but we're getting there on the monastery. Oh, we can just whip this monastery? Oh, that's worthwhile to do. Look, we're just whipping off bad tiles anyway. Let's do that. That'll get us another 2 culture per turn. And then we can overflow into maybe an archer, because we do need some more defensive units. Maybe a barracks? I don't know. I mean, we're going to, look, we grow right back onto that tile again. So we're not really giving up much of anything for this. Alright, as for Paradise, it's about to grow into unhappiness. That's okay. Might be time to triple whip a settler again out of here. And I think the next spot we'd pick is probably this one. So just keep, yeah, I'll have Paradise. I'll start the settler next turn, and then we'll triple whip. Actually, no, we can start it now. Let that build up. No, actually, I'd rather run this, even though it means fewer food hammers. When the cottage is done, I'll fire that specialist. Alright, Willemstad's about to grow. Onto the cottage. Good. Probably grow this to size 4 and double whip the granary. I realize now that I forgot that I was supposed to whip this granary a while back. That's okay, though. Now that it's this close, we let the granary finish naturally. And then we'll whip the lighthouse. That was a mistake by me. I should have remembered to do that. Anyway, so this worker can chop this. And then we'll be in a position to road over to here. Cradle is going to need another... Oh, no, I was going to say needs another tile to work, but actually no. This is not a bad place to work. We could actually get scientist specialists out of here, too. Oh, well. Actually, I might stop the monastery and build a worker, because we definitely need workers. We're, like, barely keeping up with the supply of improved tiles. Alright, so we built the monastery. Okay, yeah, look at this, 15 culture per turn. Remember, it's all going to double down the road, too. So I wouldn't mind going for another wonder here soonish. Chichen Itza is not a very good wonder, but it does provide 6 culture, so that's something. Like, Pyramids is a long build, but it's only 18 turns that we can get stone connected, so let's keep that in mind. For right now, though, how about you get me an archer? Because we're going to need one for the new city that we're building. Alright, meanwhile, over here, we could do another temple, or we could try to do infrastructure. I think I'm okay with another archer for right now. But if I'm going to do an archer up there, then I'll cancel the archer order here. Have you do this. We are working that tile, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright. Looks like we need maybe one more turn's worth of gold, and then we can push our way through to Monarchy. Alright, you are going to chop this for me. I am going to keep having you protect me against potential barbarians. Okay, I'll road that. And now you are done improving tiles up here. And poor goldfish. Cancel that. Just making sure there are no barbs here. Okay, farm. Alright. So, fire this, work this, and get ready to whip this next turn. When the unhappiness wears off. Alright, so we got a worker over here that's somewhat free, so we can look to help out. I guess there's nothing to do at Desert Lullaby. We could, we can chop this hill. We could chop this. Where else can I send? By the way, people are still in chat, right? I feel like the chat's been static for a while. I'm hoping that it didn't just bug out. It's just been like a lull in the game. If it did stop working, then let me know. Although I don't know how people would let me know if it stopped working. Anyway. Oh, no, still going on. Okay, that's what I thought. I figured it was just a lull in the conversation. Okay, I'm trying to think where I might want to... Yeah, still here? Okay. Probably while we're here, we should cottage this tile next. Probably the most useful thing we can do. So Cradle's working all of its improved tiles. Still undoing its latest whip on happiness. And Paradise is going to whip the settler. And then here... Yeah, we're going to try to get a little bit more food in this city. East Korea, we probably just won't whip. We'll just constantly build stuff. I'm going to try to have a setup whereby this city can just be working on wonders. So this settler out of Paradise, I think I'll dump on this tile, but I'm seriously considering getting another city and just dumping it on this, just wasting a settler here, specifically just so we can get stone connected. And then East Korea can look to build, I don't know, stuff like pyramids, Hanging Garden, Chichen Itza, etc. We'll also have to get some more culture in Cradle as well, long term. Probably going to try to split up the wonders between these. And then, like, this city fortunately benefits from having Judaism in it, but its actual production is kind of on the low end. So this city might need help from, like, great artists and such. Anyway, hey, Grillo. Good to have you here. By the way, our score is accelerated pretty far past Wang Khan. Finally hooked up Corn. He seems to be struggling pretty mightily in this game. But hey, we've gotten a religious spread from him, so that's all we really need. Thanks for that, buddy. Oh no, please don't come after me with your archers. Anyway, alright, so we'll whip that. Let's keep working that cottage, even though it is one less food hammer. I think that's still worthwhile. Okay, so while that's going on, Desert Lullaby could take this tile temporarily. Although I think I'd still probably rather work this tile. How are we doing on Operation Steel Tiles? Oh, okay, so notice that we fell behind. It looks like they hit 100 culture first, but we are very close to hitting 100 culture ourselves, only 2 turns away. So we're going to fall slightly further behind, and then we'll start catching up after that. A little bit unfortunate, but definitely going to have more culture than them. What are they on here? 153. Looks like they're gaining 23 per turn right now, but then we'll be gaining 27 once this pops. Anyway, okay, farm, cottage. Still walking around in the wastelands. Chop. Nope, just letting you protect me here. Alright, finish that road. They continue to move this worker here. I'll let them continue to build this cottage. I feel sorry for the barbarians sometimes. Poor barbarians. Anyway, let's turn on research. Looks like we can just about get this in 4 turns or so. Yep. Riverside Cottage location at Paradise. Where is there still a Riverside Cottage? Ah, over here. Actually, there's 2 of them. Both of these 2 tiles. Yeah. Yep. Those should be prioritized over this. Yep. Have to work on that. Okay. But since they're already building it, they might as well finish it now. Alright, let's get you over to here. Literally just following this Korean archer around. Alright, so it looks like we're kind of done improving Goldfish. this is about the best we can do. So I can whip this, but I think I'd prefer not to. I think I'd rather just have it work these tiles. These are all strong tiles, so might as well just stay on these tiles, honestly, rather than whip the city. We don't have an immediate need. And then you can just do lighthouse after that. Just put in the queue right now. Granary, lighthouse. We'll go from there. All right, so that frees up some workers over here who are not needed up there. Yeah, they're still outpacing us for the moment, but we're about to pop borders, so we will get, I swear, we will get control of these tiles eventually. So I guess I can pull these guys down here, and they can help out somewhere else. Okay, so we'll want to work this tile, and then do this. Yeah, get it up to at least 3 food per turn. So I'm going to need help getting this city established. Let's slide you down here to help out with that city. You can put a turn into chopping so that you're not wasting your turn. It's about to finish the chop, and then you can also help here, road this tile, and then you guys can improve the deer and then improve the sheep once borders expand. Or beach episode. We're also going to need another cottage down here. So these two, I think I'm going to have them build another farm up here at East Korea, but then shuffle down to build the other cottage. Actually, no, they're going to need to shuffle down and improve the wines because we're about to finish this tech, and so that's the next tile for them to improve. And I do want to get another settler. I'm thinking I'm going to dump a settler there to get stone. So that would probably have to come out of Cradle, which is getting close to wearing off on its whip unhappiness. So I'll just get another settler out of here. It helps when you have this much food. It's easy to just keep tossing out settlers, and we'll just put that there. And this will be a garbage city, but it'll get a stone, and we can come up with some creative name for a poor location that just falls on its sword to produce stone for the rest of the empire. Alright, lighthouse. Lighthouse will finish shortly. Road. Nice. Have that road finished. Alright, now you finish chopping that. Okay, so you guys can basically like shuffle down in this direction. It's going to waste a turn or two on movement here, which I don't love, but I think it is what it is, because there's no more work to be done up there at Goldfish. Alright, so we're going to finish this between turns, so move to here, build the road, and then we're connecting the lines starting next turn. And it's going to look like I planned that out perfectly, even though I didn't. Okay. I feel like I could get this city to grow this turn by working this tile, but I'd rather just work this tile and just accept that I'm going to grow a turn slower. Anyway, we did finally pop borders at Desert Lullaby, so we are 60 culture points behind. 60 points behind, but we should start making that up. I believe that they are still only getting 3 culture per turn, so I think that we're making up a little bit of that each turn. I'm going to try to get more culture in here as well. Paradise. You are just regrowing back off a whip. Yeah, just growing back off a whip right now. Just grab all these tiles. Actually, this tile probably should go to Desert Lullaby for the time being. Yeah, definitely should go to Desert Lullaby for the time being. We have enough at Paradise for right now. All right. Did the worker finish the cottage? Oh, perseverance pays off. Congratulations, barbarian. You finally finished this cottage. All right. Anyway, so Cradle is slightly unhappy because we have the whip penalty, but we're about to get wines connected, and we can flip into hereditary rule as well, which, as I said, I think is worthwhile to do, to burn the turn of anarchy to get into these two. I think that's worthwhile. Okay, so I've got an extra worker here. Where do I want to send this? Probably to work around Cradle. I could use some help there. These two are going to be tied up over here for the time being. I've got two over here. Actually, I do need someone to road towards this, but I think these workers can handle that. Yeah, I think it's just come down here and improve another tile, honestly. Let's chop this so that we can get another grassland cottage going for Cradle. We'll work on that. Civ4 City. Oof. It's pretty rough here. We definitely need this lighthouse to be finished so we can get some actual food incoming. I chopped the plains forest and didn't mine it yet. Anyway.
A multitude
all right, so Monarchy done.
Good thing. Let there be one
all right,
ruler,
where do we go? What's our next priority now? So we do want to make sure we lock down another religion. I don't want to let that go too long. Fortunately, Stonehenge was built relatively late. Because, like, the fear is if someone gets a profit from Stonehenge, they can burn it to take theology. So, like, that is a concern. We might not want to delay too long. Actually, I'm just thinking, do I need to prioritize anything else? How about calendar? Are there any calendar resources I want to get here in, like, the immediate future? The city's fine for right now. I guess since we're trying to emphasize culture, we'll just dump a temple here for the time being. How many calendar resources? Do I have any calendar resources? No. So that is a low priority for me. There's no calendar resources whatsoever in my territory, not even one. So that's not a priority. What else do we have on the tree? Obviously, metal casting would be nice. Forges and the Colossus, or organized religion plus forge is really sweet. You get the 50% bonus on your whips, 50% plus production. So that's definitely a possibility as well to grab that. Ironworking, we probably need swords to kill that Barb City. Also not a high priority while we're still settling elsewhere, though. Aesthetics has some good stuff. Statue of Zeus is pretty cheap. This is something we definitely want to build. I think this is, but again, probably not something we need it right this second. Currency, always good, of course, for the extra trade route and being able to build wealth. But mostly for the trade route, I guess markets. So calendar's a low priority. Construction, we're not fighting people right now. Top side of the tree would be nice. Unfortunately, we don't have marble for any of this stuff up here. Like, this all gets doubled with marble, and we don't have marble, unfortunately. Shwedagon though, we do have gold, so we should be able to build this pretty easily. Like, these two we should be able to build pretty cheaply. Do we want to do... hold on. Let me think about what I'm building here. Because if I get stone, I would have East Korea make a play for probably the pyramids. Do I want to make a play for the pyramids or not? Let me just think for a second here. Like, representation, it obviously would be quite good. I'm just trying to think, how realistic is it that someone else is going to take this? I do have a decent number of forests here that I could chop, though. I do have forests to chop, potentially. And I do have... Because if I want to go for pyramids, then I think I go for theology right now. And then we go for aesthetics after that. Just trying to think about how much of a priority other people are going to put on the pyramids. Also, if I'm going to go for the pyramids, I probably should not revolt to hereditary rule because I'd rather look to just get into representation. How greedy do we want to be here? How much priority do we think other people are putting on landing something like the pyramids? Well, we will get fail gold if we miss it, so let's do this. We'll go for theology. How many turns does it take to get this? 6 turns, so we need about 300-ish gold. So we'll turn science off, and then we'll look to make a play for theology, and we'll try to make a play for the pyramids as well. And then just go maybe straight to representation instead of hereditary rule. All right, next up, wines. So that's going to give us +1 happiness too, which is nice. All right. Again, we're going for theology because we're trying to lock down all these religions. Otherwise, it would be a lowish priority, but we are trying to get these religions. Okay. Cradle. All right, we'll swap you to settler next turn. I don't know why it took me a minute to think my way through that. Oh, we need a name for this city too, you guys. So feel free to knock yourselves out there. All right, so we'll finish that. And let's remove the sign and come up with a name for this new city, which is not a very good one, but it's our deer city and sheep city over here. I love how every single time Amsterdam, it's like, would you like to pick Amsterdam as the name? I'm like, no, no more Amsterdam, please. Great Rack, that is an awesome name suggestion. Deer and sheep, Great Rack. Anyway, so yeah, this city is not going to be too good until we can get this connected. So this is 4 food, and then this is 3 food, so that's 5 food together. Like makes the city vaguely useful. And it is actually worthwhile to whip off this garbage tile to get the lighthouse finished sooner. And then we can work the seafood tiles over here. All right, you are going to chop this. And we have not seen any more barbarians since we managed to start patrolling the wastelands. All right, so where are we right now? 169 minus 225. What is the difference there? That's 56. So we cut in 4 culture. Yeah, we made up a difference of 4 culture there. That's not a lot, but it's something. We need to get a Confucian missionary in here so we can build a Confucian monastery for another 2 culture. Something like that. All right. You guys, that's right, these workers up here need to come over to Paradise and improve these tiles over here, these 2 tiles here. So I would like to not waste your movement if I can, but I don't really see a good way to do that. I guess we just have to eat the worker turns lost, which always is painful. Oh, this one. Wait a minute, I could road this, but no, then I can't get onto the tile I actually want to improve next turn. Ah, well. So we're soon getting to the point where we will not have to keep patrolling the wilderness. All right, you come over here, garrison this so we have an actual unit. We need another archer too, don't we? One of these cities can produce an archer. Like not even bothering to guard all these cities. What is our break-even rate right now? 40%, that's not bad. It's not too bad. Especially because a lot of these cities finishing stuff. Alright, we're going to put this on emphasize food, so you keep picking food tiles. And you can just do the... Well, you know what? We're going to keep whipping things, and we're going to keep dumping our overflow into Great Lighthouse. We might as well make the effort. Why not? We'll get fail gold if we don't get it. So like we've got 17 overflow, we'll dump it into Great Lighthouse. As soon as the food resources are connected here, we can also chop towards this too. Now connect this, and then we'll road over there. Granary's done here, so The city can now... This city just doesn't even require maintenance. It just kind of chills up here. Alright, well, this worker doesn't... or warrior doesn't have much to do. Well, where did the worker go? I must have moved the worker down here somewhere. In any case, though, for Paradise, cottage, and cottage. Just continuing to chill. Alright, so Paradise is the one I was going to get... No, not Paradise. I was going to say Paradise gets... It's Cradle is the one that's going to produce the settler. Here we go. Actually has 2 unhappy faces. Well, we're about to connect these wines, so that'll help with that. Just in time for Willemstad, too. So did he ever get a 4th city? He's still on 3 cities. I don't know what he's doing in this game. He seems to be struggling with something. I don't know what his problem is. Maybe we can build some galleys and start shipping shipping some settlers over here. Let's see if we can finish settling the back lines. If there's still space over here, I would be content to go try to grab more territory. Just like ignore Wancon completely. So right now we have, oh, hold on, I'll look at the F1 screen. Right now we have, what is this? Is this per turn? Hold on. 15 per turn in Korea, 9 per turn in Paradise, 7 per turn in Cradle. I guess that's how many turns until the borders pop. Yeah, that's how many turns until the borders pop. So we do need to increase the culture in Cradle as well. That's why we've got the monastery. Yeah, we'll get the monasteries up and that'll help. And we can probably turn all these... Oh, you know what? We should probably build the pyramids in the capital. That's what all these forests can be. They can be pyramids in the capital. Yeah, that makes way more sense. That's what all these forests can be. They can be pyramids in the capital. Again, a lot of nice overflow there. I know it feels silly to keep running these units in circles, but it keeps the barbarians from bothering my cities, so I'm okay with it. There we go. There's our wine. Now we just need to put a road on this. And it is worthwhile, I think, to 1-pop whip the granary. Alright, so settlers done. We're going to have enough overflow to insta-finish the monastery, and then we'll probably go on to the Confucian monastery after that. Probably should have done the Confucian monastery first, but oh well. We do need to spread our religion to Goldfish and to Beach Episode, like the main religion, the one we're actually running. How are we doing at cutting into the lead? So we are 50-ish culture behind right there. Still cutting into that lead. A little bit each turn. Alright. So you have currently built all of the cultural things you can. How about you build missionaries for the cities that are lacking them right now? Alright. Just like that, we now have +1 happiness everywhere. So this monastery will finish, and then we'll overflow into the Confucian monastery. I'd put it into the pyramids, but I'd rather wait until I actually have stone. Okay, so here's our useless city that's going to drop on stone. I can't quite road to that spot. Can't quite get over there to road. Well, see, I'd like to be able to get a road on this tile next turn, because if I could road this tile next turn, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4 right onto the hill, save a turn, but I can't do that because I can't get 2 workers there. All right, you need to cottage this. You guys did get that cottaged, very nice. Work this tile over that, and we'll see what else you produce next. While you're here, let's chop this and cottage it as well. Oh look, they finally got a fourth city. Finally got his fourth city. I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm on 8 cities with the 9th about to drop. That's pretty bad. Usually the AI is better at expanding than that. I don't know what they're doing. Wang Khan's having a bad game. He's having a rough game. This poor city. We should at least get control of this tile so we can chop this. We actually need to go lighthouse over a granary here because we need the lighthouse for food. Otherwise, the city has no food at all. This poor city. Well, just to get stone. I'm sure we can come up with a creative name for it. All right, you can work this, and now these workers can road this tile because we don't have. Yeah, they might as well road the tile because otherwise they're just wasting their turn leaving. He will probably still find a way to. Yeah, even though it's not even in this game, he'll probably still find a way to try to do it. All right, next city spot. Yeah, honestly, the next city spot might be this one. Because we would actually have control of this resource here, which would be pretty hilarious. Actually, it's probably this spot because this gets us, yeah, probably this spot up here. Too bad there's no easy way to irrigate these tiles. I would happily farm 1 or 2 of these if I could, but there's no easy way to bring irrigation over there. Actually, it's impossible to irrigate because look, the tundra cuts off access here, and then these 2 hill tiles cut off access here, and the desert cuts off access here. So we can't irrigate these till electricity, which might as well be until like we land on the moon. All right. Anyway, I actually don't want you building the Great Lighthouse. I want you building the library, and then I want to whip the library and put the overflow into the Great Lighthouse. But as soon as we get this connected, I'll probably mine these and chop this, and then we can make an actual play for the Great Lighthouse and beach episode. How close are you to finishing something useful? Okay, not that close. Probably just get another settler out of Paradise again. Get another settler out of there. I have all these high food cities. Oh, we're last in power, but Wangkhan's next to last, so that's okay. Alright, finished 1 Jewish monastery. Now on to Confucian monastery. Help get the culture going here. We have a long way to go. We have to get all the way to 50,000. It looks, early on in the game, it looks like it's impossible to ever hit that number, but don't worry. As the game goes on, it gets a lot more doable. Alright, road. Road. Oh, he's got another settler. He's double settling. Sadly, we cannot get over there this turn. Gonna have to waste a turn. Womp womp. Oh, no, you don't. Don't you dare cut down that forest. I want to save that chop for me, not for you. That chop is... Yeah, I want to save that forest for chopping into my cities. I'm like, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Alright, so this city can probably do something more useful than a Jewish temple, honestly. I think what I might do is double whip. Well, I am trying to get control of this tile, so I might actually whip the temple anyway. But it should probably go into barracks then and build some units. Like get some archers for these cities that are empty. Maybe build an axe or 2 in the hopes that we can take over this spot. At least the city is stopped on 3 archers. These stupid barbarians. Anyway. So I do need another missionary.
Wat is het plan? Ik wacht op uw orders. Tot uw dienst. Deze militair meldt zich.
Alright. So Willemstad working these tiles. We're going to need... I said I did want to whip the granary. It looks like I just missed it by 1 turn. Could have had it last turn, but just missing it by 1 turn. It is worthwhile to do that. And then I probably need the lighthouse afterwards because we're going to want to work those water tiles afterwards. Okay. So we have a little time here before we need to improve there. We can go improve another tile here at East Korea. East Korea. So where do we want to send this guy? Probably beach episode for any like organized religion benefits we're going to get on shops. Yeah, they moved the worker back into their capital. Okay. This poor guy, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to pull him back. Okay, so Paradise, go chop towards the temple. Okay. It's close to finishing this. Now we did finish some road on here, and now the sheep is in range. We almost have this fog busted back here. Alright, so I'll move there. Road. Cancel the road. You guys, cottage. All your trees are belong to us, yes. So we can turn on research probably next turn. Getting these missionaries out. It'd be nice if we could get the shrine in here someday too. I don't know if we're going to have much success at that. The wonders that produce shrines are... Well, actually, we do have, we actually do have this. We actually should be able to get a shrine without too much trouble. Okay, because we're already making progress there. Actually, we probably can do this to speed this up, considering how long it'll take otherwise. Yeah, that's probably worthwhile to do. That'll also get more culture here, too. Obviously, it's good economically, but it's quite good for... you know, it's quite good for culture too, because the shrine's worth, I think the shrine's worth 5 culture per turn as well. Hold on. Actually, I don't remember how much it is. What is the, are they listed here? Actually, they're listed under wonders, I believe. Yeah, this is 4 culture per turn. And of course also helps spread the religion too. Alright. Granary, and I said we wanted to do lighthouse here next, because we're probably going to, once we take these 2 cottages, we're going to have to grow onto water tiles, and with 4 food per turn surplus is not a ton, but it is something. Alright, anyway, so you can come down here. We do need to cottage this. Just running around in the wilderness. Alright, what's the name of our horrible city that we dump on, that we just have dumped on here? This city is so bad. I feel so sorry for this city. I'm like, I'm sorry. Someone has to sacrifice for the greater good. Stony Hills, not bad. Anything else? Stoned, done. Stoned is good. This poor city. Anyway, as I said, we actually do need a lighthouse. So this is the best we can do here. Just get the lighthouse so we can work some two food tiles. And I just moved both workers away from this tile too, didn't I? Whoops. Oops. Probably should have. I actually need to mine this tile so that would actually take it up to 7 production per turn. At least we get the rare 3-hammer center tile. Don't get to see that too often. Stoned is good. Alright, you come over here. Here. We can work on that. Actually gonna grow size 2 like right as it hits this timing. And finish that cottage. Okay, cool. So we finished this cottage here. And now we have stone connected. So I'm going to have these 2 workers here. They're going to come help at Cradle. And we're going to work on the pyramids. It's kind of a shame that I'm not an organized religion to get the 25% faster bonus. But That's okay. So I'll keep it on Confucian Monastery, but I want to try to set up some kind of like whip overflow. This is actually fine. We'll go to pyramids, and then is it 1-pop or 2-pop whip for the monastery? It's only a 1-pop whip, so that's not ideal. I would want to be able to 2-pop whip something. Now, ideally, this would be like a 2-pop whip into something. Well, you can always like 2-pop whip the barracks or something, because that would whip for 2-pop with some overflow. So we'll put 1 turn into barracks here, and then we can 2-pop whip that with some overflow. Actually, it wouldn't give me much of anything. We'll just leave it at we'll just 1-pop whip the Confucian missionary then, and we can overflow from that once the whip penalty wears off. Okay. So these 3 workers are gonna split up 1, 2, 3, and then they'll all be able to chop forests into this. Each chop is worth 60 production. So if we do like 2 rounds of forest chops, that should basically be enough to finish the wonder. Let's just hope someone else is. This is somewhat late to be working on it. We'll be able to hand off its cottages. Most of the production is going to come from chops and whip overflow, yeah. I'm going to continue working the cottages. If we fall short, then we get fail gold. It's okay. All right, so 5. All right, it looks like we need 1 more turn on 0% research before we can go for this tech. Okay. So we're break even at about 40% research right now. All right. So you guys, is that in the? All right, no, this is in the capital's borders here. Here. And then you can go here. Still have not built a 4th archer in there, which is kind of weird. Okay. Chop. Chop. Alright, are you ready for that 90% dice roll here? Cross your fingers. Alright, we succeeded. Thankfully. Alright, we will need that cottage. I don't even know what this warrior is doing anymore. Or stoned. And then meanwhile, I also want some attention on Beach episode afterwards, but I feel like the pyramids is more likely to get taken than the Hanging Garden. Oh, we never actually finished this cottage. Shoot. I must have not finished it. Oh well. We'll be able to get somebody to work on that. Now this city's also ready for a whip of some kind. I feel like another worker is probably what we need here. You finish the temple and then we'll swap on the following turn. Yeah. I feel like we can need another worker more than we need to squeeze out a settler right now. We're kind of, again, at the kind of beyond worker capacity already. Look at these fish locations back here. This will be the next city we plant anyway. Alright. Give me a worker then. Jewish missionary. This is for that city up in the north? Yeah. Okay. So I also do want to... Chichen Itza is an interesting one too, but this is unlikely to get taken anytime soon. Hanging Gardens. We would like to get Hanging Gardens. How about you do the aqueduct for Hanging Gardens, and then you can build the Hanging Gardens after that. That's another 6 culture per turn. And meanwhile, you're still working away on our shrine, which is due in 10 turns. Oh, nice. Cradle popped its borders. Okay, cool. Alright. Chop. Anything we can do to keep the barbs down. It's been a very peaceful game so far. and we'd like it to stay that way. You I want to send up here to see if we can expand at Goldfish. I really would like to get into what's the word? Organized religion. I just don't want to burn the anarchy turns. I'm hoping I can finish the pyramids and go representation, organized religion. That's why I haven't revolted yet. Alright, just continuing to keep that worker locked in there because I don't want him to be chopping. Alright, still chopping. And I can bring a fourth, this worker that's going to pop out, I can bring him over here too. Although actually I probably will need to finish this cottage first before I do anything else. Stoned, you are just falling on your sword for the greater good of the Empire right now. Paradise gets whipped. We already... No, we whip it next turn. Desert Lullaby is the one that can whip. Yeah, let's do that. Whip off bad tiles that aren't being used. How we doing here? See, look, we're catching up. We're catching up. Look, we're only down 24 culture points now. And then we're going to have control of these tiles. Ha ha ha. We're getting there. Better than these desert wasteland over here to the east. I don't suppose he'd be willing to trade anything. Nope, he's just doing his Tokugawa in this game because we've got foreign religion. But if he wants to stay over there, that's fine. All right. You are actually, I think, we'll go ahead and get the barracks here, and maybe you can build some units, just so I have some units on hand. Look at that, we're down to just 22 culture points behind. We're cutting in, I think we're cutting in like 4 or 5 points per turn. Anyway. Okay, meanwhile, Paradise. Whip the worker. That looks good. This axe has been running in circles and over there for quite some time. Alright, so there's our first chop at Cradle. There's our second chop. Third one's incoming soon, so 46 turns. Coming down pretty quickly. How much more unhappiness do we have? Okay, so we'll overflow the monastery in a couple turns. Still, that cuts out maybe like a third of the time. Alright, you guys now. Let's see. We also do need some kind of unit to stand in this city, so I'm going to need an archer at the minimum. But that's not that urgent. Alright, so Great Rack has both of these. We do not want to whip the... well, actually, no, we do want to whip the granary. We'll do it next turn. Whip off the deer tile, which is the weaker of the two. Okay. So we are going to need to improve some of these riverside tiles. Could also actually, we could also chop this, and that would just finish the granary. That would accelerate the... okay, that would accelerate this city's development pretty good if we just chop this granary to completion instead of having to whip it. And then the whip could be used for the library. Let's do that. We'll chop this, cottage these 2 tiles, and then we can head down here to see if we can help each episode. Okay, so we're going to whip the library next turn, overflow into Great Lighthouse. We can chop this. We only have 1 forest to chop, which is unfortunate, but we can mine these hill tiles. Yeah, the city could actually produce, it can actually get up to a decent, it can actually get up to a pretty decent hammer total if we just mine these hill tiles and chop this. So I think we have decent odds to get that too. And we actually have a fair number of, actually have quite a few coastal cities, more than I would have been expecting to get. Anyway, meanwhile, East Korea is still doing its thing. Hanging Gardens should be relatively safe to get. It's not even very expensive. And I'm just letting this city very slowly grow. It'll grow much faster once I fire this priest specialist, but slowing down growth again for the greater good. Alright, just keep your fingers crossed. And we should be able to get lock down this religion, which is going to be nice as well. Alright, so we finished that. Next up, what do we want here? I guess we'll just get the monastery because we're trying to push culture, as always, here. 8 turns until that hits 500 culture. Alright, lighthouse done. This might be another city where we just don't bother to whip. We just sit here and accept that we're just going to grow at a slow rate. And because, like, what else are we going to do here? I don't know. Let's get the library. It's pretty cheap. Is the question of do we want to put Moai in this city or do we want to put Moai in Beach Episode? It's probably better in Beach Episode, honestly. Anyway, hi Darkuno. Subscribed again for 37 months. Hope your weekend is off to a great start. Alright, every chop is cutting like 8 turns off the pyramid, so if we do like 3 or 4 more, we certainly have the forest to spare. These hill tiles don't really need anything else. Alright, so let's have you move here. Chop that. You can move there to chop. You can move here to chop. A lot of chopping going on these turns. I do actually want to finish this cottage. Apparently I pulled away with 1 turn to go. Whoops. Alright. Well, you can just grow onto that next turn. Yeah, Beach seems both better with Moai and worse without it. I think that's right. Both better with it and worse without. Okay. So, oh, look at that. Well, I was going to say, like, oh, look at all that amazing overflow. But remember, it gets doubled because we're creative. We're not actually going to get 44 overflow, but we will get, like, 20 overflow, which we can apply to the Great Lighthouse. So that's feeling pretty good. Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you, Marked. Okay. So this will finally finish. Yay, +1. No. I mean, this is really a situation where we should be growing at 3 food per turn, but we're running the priest specialist so that this takes 8 turns instead of 19 turns. Working our way towards that. Alright, again, just running in circles to make sure barbs don't pop up. And make sure you don't chop down that forest. Running in circles. Okay. This is slightly inefficient to waste a worker turn moving in there, but it's okay. Alright, and this finishes in time for growth here. Now you can come up here and go improve that tile. For poor Stoned. Although we should get control of this tile eventually, because it's first ring for us. I can chop, actually what I think the play is come over here, because we're going to get control of this tile very shortly. Might not look like it, but borders will pop, and then this will be first ring for us, so we'll get control of that tile. And so we'll chop this for the lighthouse, and then the city can actually very, very, very slowly grow. The Chariot to Forest Preservation Corps, sure. I don't think there's enough room for that, but... No, actually it did. Core with an S. Oh, apparently we're like 1 beaker short from getting this? Oh well. I don't think it's going to get snapped up in between turns. That would be very surprising if it were. Okay, so... yeah, that looks good there. Desert Lullaby. How close are we getting to claiming this tile here? Oh, we're only 19 points down now. So we were 19, and now we're 16, so we're making up 3 each turn, I guess. Also, the borders of Stoned have expanded. Why couldn't Fish Tile? Why couldn't you be there instead? No. Alright, are you ready for another 90% dice roll? Alright, we've been succeeding on our 90% dice rolls, thank goodness. Look at this, we were 2 beakers off last turn, but remember the player always wins ties, so... in single player, the player always wins ties. Okay. So we should have control of that tile, if not next turn, the turn after. If I rode this tile, 1, 2, 3, 4... I lose a turn of movement either way, don't I? So, and there's not really any purpose to roading this tile. Okay. So, I'm just going to move over here right now. I don't know if we get this next turn or the following turn. I think we actually get this. I think we might need one more turn to get that tile in our culture. Anyway, so I'm slowly building these tiles here. Okay, I think we're good here for the moment. What I could do though is I could use this to chop another forest. Yeah, I might as well. Hold on, unless I... Yeah, I might as well. For Cradle, make sure Cradle has this tile. There we go. If you ever want to know where is the chop going to go to, you can manually assign. And if it's out in like the third ring, you can always hover to see. So like, see how it says in Great Rack? You can always manually hover as well to see where it's going to go. If it's outside any city's 21 tiles, you can't control where it goes though. All right, so that'll finish the granary. And then that allows us to put the first whip into something else. I guess the library, for lack of better stuff to put it in. All right, you're going to come here and chop this forest. You're going to go here, and I hope that this goes to the cap. No, we can go here. This will definitely go to the capital. We're going to chop this anyway, and it also actually clears the path to putting a settler on that tile. And then you're going to chop for Cradle as well. And then you're also going to chop for Cradle. And then that should pretty much do it. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more chops funneled in. Each one is 60 production, so yep, that'll do it. Actually, I don't even need all of them. One of them, we can actually skip one of them. This one, actually, I don't think we need. Oh well. Because we're going to whip and get the... Actually, instead of whipping the Confucian Monastery, let's... Not an worker. Let's whip a settler for this X spot instead. We're just going to settle right next to this. And then some of these workers can improve this. Literally just going to settle next to the Barb City. Oh, hello, there's a new Wang Tan city. He's finally expanding. Maybe he was struggling with barbs earlier. He's up to 5 cities now. Just kind of like very peacefully interacting with one another over here. Goldfish, I still think it doesn't make sense to whip this city. Like, we can whip for 2 pop, but again, I'd rather just keep working the 3 good tiles. So why not? By the way, so our only city that does not have a religion right now is Great Rack. So we know, or Stone. Stone doesn't have a religion either. So it's like 2/3 odds that Christianity is going to pop up in Great Rack. 1/3 odds it's going to pop up in Stoned. I would prefer to have it pop up in the non-terrible Great Rack, but we'll see what happens. You can't settle two. Oh, you guys are right. Can't settle 2 tiles from. You guys are right. You can't settle 2 tiles from an existing city. That is not a legal spot. You guys are correct. So we will not be settling there. But I could settle up here. I just don't have the worker labor to support it. So we'll hold off, since there's no workers in the area, we'll hold off on grabbing that northern spot. This spot is pointless to grab until I have this. Yeah, there's the overflow. It's pointless to settle this city until I have a workboat ready to go, which I do not at the moment. Maybe I'll have Willemstad build a workboat for that spot, because right now, Beach Episode's tied up one. Great Lighthouse. Yeah, we can always whip the lighthouse and then overflow into... Yeah, we can always whip the lighthouse and overflow into a workboat. I'll try to do that to set up for this spot over here, down the road. I don't believe it ever will pop up in a city that has a religion if there is a city that doesn't have a religion. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that it will not as long as there's a city that's empty on religion. We are going to have to burn that Barb City. Well, this is a big turn. We entered the medieval era, and we're going to found a religion.
2 cities have been
we just have to figure out where.
Loves. The earthly by the love of self.
And it was in Great Rack. Good. That's a much better location to have it. All right. All right, so now that we have delayed that, now we can get back. Now I want to go for aesthetics. I want to get Statue of Zeus and Shwedagon. I want to lock these down. I don't really care about the Parthenon because I don't have marble. it's a lowish priority. We also definitely want the Great Library. Then we'd probably go metal casting after aesthetics. All right. Library here, and we will send you back to the capital. I think it's like 80-ish% odds, something like that, that we will get that to spread successfully. So we'll see. All right, you I actually, now I believe I mapped it out. I don't actually need your chop. Anyway, we're going to whip this. It is a one-pop whip, which we know is inefficient, but we will get overflow into the pyramids. So we'll do it. Said I didn't love this whip, but it is what it is. And honestly, I think I want to just build a road here to connect these two parts of my territory together. All right, so chop, chop. Can we actually just finish aesthetics? No, we need a couple turns worth of research there. And then you guys should cottage this while you're here. Forest Preservation Squad still keeping this down. All right. Yeah, it looks like we need one more turn. We will have this in our borders next turn. So I guess you can just, I don't know. Let's see, if I move here, I could, I could just do half of a turn of a road here. All right, well, at least we got visibility here. Look, I could actually kill one of his workers if I wanted to, but we're not looking to fight a war with this dude. I mean, I'm not 100% certain. I just think I believe it will found in a city that has no religion if it can, but I could be wrong about that. It's a good question. I could totally be wrong about that. All right, so we are 6 turns off our great profit there. We are actually only 6 turns away from this city popping its borders, and when that happens, so like right now Paradise's borders extend, how much does it have? It has 400 culture. Right now its borders expand to here, but when it pops borders, its culture will expand up to here, and then it'll also expand to these tiles as well. So if this hasn't already flipped, it will shortly. Oh, look how close we're getting here. 508 to 521. Desert Lullaby getting there. And then it's going to build some archers for these cities that don't have defenders, because I still have a bunch of cities with no defenders. Fortunately, Wang Khan does not seem too eager to come after me. Probably because he knows that would not go well for him. All right, can we get this dice roll? This is about, I believe it's roughly 80% odds to succeed. All right, good. You always want like that first one to succeed, because right now this is the only city that has Christianity. With the capital having, oh wow, look at all these chops finishing. There we go. We have how many more chops? I think we have 2 more. Yeah, 2 more. When these 2 finish, it should be enough, I think. Or it should be close. Should be very close with that. All right. As expected, this is now in our territory. Forest Preservation Squad still doing work. We're actually helping Wang Khan to keep the barbarians down over in his neck of the woods too. So we slowed expansion a little bit to try to get the pyramids. Hey, wait. Was this in my territory before? I guess not. Actually, no, this is not in the territory. It's not in the 21 tile radius of any of my cities. It's just close. We're only 10 culture points behind now. Finally going to be able to flip that. All right. So I think when these forest chops finish, the pyramids is going to finish. I think. I say lullaby to your territory. Yeah, this is not the peaceful cultural domination that I did in one of those other games. All right. So this lighthouse is just barely at a 2-pop whip. Trying to think how I want to play this. I want this to be a 2-pop whip, so let's Let's switch to library, and then we'll 2-pop whip that so we can get as much overflow as possible. And I want the overflow to go into a workboat for this. So next up we'll be having a city crank out a settler for this spot. So who can do that? Paradise should be getting close to. Yeah, Paradise can probably do that next. Yeah, Paradise should be able to do that. So we're like 4 or 5 turns away from it producing a settler. And then that timing should line up decently with grabbing that spot. Then this axe can finally stop patrolling the wilderness. As I said, I'd go for this spot, but I don't really have the worker labor in position to support it. Not just yet. Okay, cool. Pyramids? I'm going to be sad if Pyramids finishes in between turns here. All right. That's right. We need to get some archers because this city finally finished. We also need to mine this hill tile up here. All right. Let's see what happens with these chops. Right, chop. And chop. 3 turns. Okay, well, let's see if we can get this down to 1 turn, shall we? We are very, very close. 2 turns. 2 turns. All right. We'll just do this for 1 turn. So now we remember we're guaranteed to win tie breaks, so Pyramids is ours. Hooray! And we'll turn on research next turn. So we've got the Pyramids. I'll burn the turn of anarchy and we'll be in representation. I believe this is right. Yeah, 100%, 90%, 81%. I believe that's correct. Or at least those are the percentage-based numbers I've seen before. All right. Now we're going to have some workers free. So you can come over here and... that's right. I wanted to shift some workers up north to mine this and start roading towards that location. So why don't you can... Which city is working that tile? Paradise? No, the capital is working this tile. That's right. Would like to get this tile, these 2 tiles improved as well. I'll hold you over here, but some of these workers I'm going to send up north. Okay, as for you, I wanted you to help each episode, which should not be on Great Lighthouse. It should be working on something else towards Whip. Courthouse? No, I don't know if that's right. Actually, this is fine. It should be. It's growing pop towards just swapping over to a bunch of mines. So this is fine for right now. The courthouse is not urgent at the moment. Representation cast Golden Age. Yeah, I'm not going to go as crazy as I would if this were like a competitive multiplayer game. I want you to come down here. I see you can do this. Dump a turn of mining into that, so just so your turn's not wasted. And the city's going to need a defender soonish. The library is so cheap because we've got we're creative. All right, Pyramids it is. Kind of a late date for the Pyramids, turn 112. I seem to have drawn AIs that are not wonder heavy, which I'm pretty happy with. Watch, it's going to be like Montezuma and Shaka and Ragnar on the other continent, while I'm over here with Wang Khan. All right. I've seen this wonder video the most. This was when Civ4 was in development. You know, they try to preview stuff. They the developers did the Pyramids video first, so they could show it off at like the preview stuff, and all the other wonders did not have videos done, so that like the Pyramids one would just play for everything. So I'm very familiar with the Pyramids one. All right. Anyway, so we want to get the monastery done so we can start spreading some of these other religions. But this is a turn, unless we have something that we need to whip. I don't think there's anything that needs to be whipped this turn. So this is a good episode, or a good time to swap into organized religion. and representation, not caste system. So we do lose a turn of anarchy, but it's worthwhile. It sounds like William's awake, so I don't know how much longer this stream's going to last. The king is waking up, you guys. Okay, so you two, I think I'm going to send up here to the north, which is going to mean some turns of inefficient movements, but start working in that direction. Okay. You come here and help with this. We were just about to regain this, but we gained no culture while we're in anarchy, so whoops, we're gonna fall behind here for a turn at the Desert Lullaby race. That didn't actually hurt us that badly. Okay. Now we can turn that on. Alright, so now Cradle gets the happiness back. Alright, let's do this. Now you're on the road network, right? Yeah. You guys are just like gonna road your way up there. Oh yeah, we got a free forest, didn't we? Nice. Okay, I would actually like to cottage this tile as well. So we have this city is covered for the moment. So how about you come here? You go here, and then we'll cottage that tile next turn. All right, so there's the lighthouse. If we could ever get control of this tile, we'd have a 3-food tile, but all right. Meanwhile, down here, how close is the whip? Okay, so we're gonna the lighthouse. Oh wait, what? Only a 1-pop whip. What? Oh, organized religion. I was like, why is that only a 1-pop whip? It's like, oh, organized religion. That's okay. That means we don't get the overflow. We are now in organized religion, so our whips are more powerful. Whoops. Oh well. I set that all up and forgot that I was now in organized religion. Oh well. Okay, so the aqueduct is almost done. We're 3 turns away from our great prophet. Paradise. Paradise is the one that needs... Alright, so Paradise is getting closer to its settler. We'll pop that out. Start that probably next turn. And then it'll go up to this spot here. Archer for the city that's being founded. 12 culture behind now. Paradise is about to pop its borders. And then we'll have to get something for this spot. So we've got 1 whip on happiness here, but we'll be able to grow into this tile. We also can work one of some of these hill tiles too. Cradle's going to have really good production long term, so it's got all these awesome food tiles. Alright, so now the city finally has 2 food per turn, which is not very impressive, but it's better than nothing. And I guess we can put cottages on the grassland tiles. Right. Alright. Yeah, we're just building roads through the wilderness here. But we actually do need to get a road up there, otherwise it's going to be cut off. Alright, you're building a farm. You guys. Okay, finish that. Okay, mine this. We're still just chilling over here. The preservation squad, forest preservation squad, still doing its job. Just keeping these units bottled up over there. Alright, build this cottage for Cradle. Alright, so the aqueduct will finish, and we're again about to get our shrine. So next up, Hanging Gardens. You can see it's not going to take that long, not with stone. And this city is actually producing quite a lot of culture now. Paradise will get a big shot in the arm in terms of culture from the shrine, and we're going to have to try to get at least a couple wonders in here. This city is probably going to need the most help, because East Korea has a lot of production, Cradle has a ton of production, Paradise does not. So this is probably going to be the one that's going to need the most help. Like, if we can get the free great artist at music, we can dump it in Paradise as a super specialist, that kind of thing. I don't suppose you'd be willing to sign open borders? Nope. Okay, sour face. And this is the turn I wanted to swap onto this. And then in 2 turns we whip it, and the overflow goes to Jewish Monastery.
Art for art's sake is an empty phrase.
Okay.
Art for the sake of truth.
Let's go for metal
for
casting now.
The good and the beautiful. That
Belatedly go for metal casting. Alright, Hanging Gardens Express, choo choo. We also need to get the monument so we can build Statue of Zeus. It's a very cheap wonder, but we do need 2 monuments. I'll have to crank those out somewhere. Build me a monument so you can get slightly more culture. We are down to just 8 culture behind. Alright, you, Archer, I'm going to send here. We still need 1 at stone too, don't we? Actually, belie that order. Get me an Archer. Let's do the monument first. Monument. Monument is very cheap. Alright, you're building the workboat, that's fine. It was supposed to be a 2-pop whip, but that's okay. Settler will whip next turn, and that's going to go up here. And then Cradle will produce another Settler in a few turns. No. Stay on Food Hammers. Actually, no, you work here, because we're about to finish a cottage on that tile this turn. There we go. See? There we go. You can still build missionaries after monasteries with organized or religion. Also, if you built the monasteries before they obsoleted, then you can still build them afterwards. I believe you still get the culture from them even after they obsolete. I could be wrong, but I believe you still get the culture afterwards. Alright, we can now fire this priest specialist. Because we're going to get the great person between turns anyway. Oh, and why would we work that tile? We can work this tile. There we go. Look at this, base production 16, and then we get the plus 25% for organized religion. Not too shabby. Basically 16 base production per turn. Alright. So I'm going to have beach episode. Is this almost, okay, this is almost done too. I'm going to have this city swap over to all mines as soon as this mine finishes. Like, it's going to grow to size 6, and then I'll work mine, and then we'll chop that, and Great Lighthouse is like maybe 8 turns away from finishing. So not 152 turns as it looks like. Actually, you know what I can do? This whip on happiness is almost done, right? You know what we can do? We can 1-pop whip the monument. It's an inefficient whip, but that's okay. We'll 1-pop whip the monument, and then we'll overflow into the Great Lighthouse. And then monument finishes here and here, and then Paradise can go from the Settler overflow can go into Statue of Zeus. And then we can probably burn a Forest Chopper too. Oh, I can't clear jungle yet. Whoops. Oh well. Because Statue of Zeus is a very cheap wonder, and I'd like to get more culture in Paradise. So we'll put Statue of Zeus in there, using, again, overflow and Also, metal casting 3 turns? Okay. We're still break even at 40%. We are pretty rich in this game. It's nice to be financial. Alright. Yeah, it's nice to be financial. And then we will finally maybe come back and do something about these archers after I've built cities completely around the location. Anyway, I guess we'll just let the library finish. Maybe we'll just whip the courthouse to completion next. Actually, no. We should do the Christian monastery. No. We do want to spread Christian missionaries around. Got to spread all 3 of our religions. Or actually, no, we have 4 religions, don't we? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have 4 religions. Everything except Buddhism we have access to. Yeah, we're going to need to be spreading religions around. Well, the AP Apostolic Palace would be worthwhile, but it is not enabled for this game. I have turned it off. It is not an option for this game. Otherwise, it would be. So we'll also need to get up to music in the near future, both because it has the great artist and because it has cathedrals, and it also, of course, has Sistine, which is the most important wonder for this variant. So after metal casting, I think I'm going to get ironworking, and then I think I'm going to push for music after that, and philosophy. I actually get the double prereqs on philosophy. We can continue to delay calendar because there's nothing there we want except mausoleum. Construction's not urgent. Currency, we seem to be fine on gold, so I don't think we need to emphasize that. So we'll hit the top of the tree after this. Monument in East Korea. All right, now you do Hanging Gardens. 9 turns. All right, library. Yeah, I mean, this seems fine. The Hindu monastery is... Actually, no, not Hindu monastery. Hindu missionaries. We need to get these missionaries because this is the only cities that... is like one of the only cities that can build them. I believe it is the only city right now. Yeah, Cradle does not have this religion, so... Oh, look at this. We got control of this tile, but not this tile. Very weird. A little bit awkward there, but we'll take it. I'd rather work this tile. Okay. A little bit odd. Alright, so now whip the settler. Painful to whip off those cottages, but it is what it is. And now we do the inefficient one-pop whip on the monument. This warrior continues to wander in the desert. You can go to somewhere more useful. How about you help out over here? And great profit it is. Let's get over there. Get that shrine up for paradise. Yeah, again, the Apostolic Palace is not enabled in this game, so it's not going to happen, I'm afraid. Sorry. Alright. Forest Preservation Corps. Alright, so we should be pretty safe on the Hanging Gardens. The AI often struggles with Hanging Gardens because it has that prerequisite for the aqueduct, so the AI often struggles with it. Alright, I'm just looking to see where, if anywhere, I can whip something. Whip penalty is worn off here, so we really should try to get something out. Could do them... I guess this is okay for right now. I guess this is alright. This archer is very slowly making its way down here. And then this archer will come up here. Alright, monument, settler in paradise. But nope, paradise, we're not going to put that into Jewish monastery. We're going to put this into Statue of Zeus. There we go. Get that nice overflow. And then we can chop a couple forests into this. slowly pushing back this stupid barbs. All right, here I wanted to finish. I knew I was almost done with this mine. All right, you are gonna move up in this direction here. Oh, this is a bit of a shame I can't get further than this, but oh well. Yeah, Moses wandering in the desert here. All right, well, let's get that shrine. The Jewish shrine, Temple of Solomon. Probably the only shrine we're going to get this game, but we'll see. Not a huge deal economically, but only 7 cities, but it does provide culture, so that's nice. Statue of Zeus is worth a lot of culture, 10 culture per turn. This city just doesn't have much in the way of production, so that's why it's going to need a lot of help. When we can get a levee in here later on in the game, that'll help a fair bit. Super late game, you can even go into universal suffrage and cash rush stuff if you have extra gold. All right, yeah, I wanted to get this. Yes. Okay. All right, so here we go. Great Lighthouse. Now, of course, we starve in 9 turns, but we'll be able to chop this to completion sooner than that. 13 production per turn, and we'll chop this. And that should be enough. Let's see. The chop should shave a turn off that, so we'll avoid starving to death. Yeah, so that should do it. Alright, meanwhile over here, we're going to need a settler soonish. Probably swap to that next turn. And then we'll get the settler for here. Remember, we have the workboat under construction here, very slowly being produced. So we're about to double settle again. And then we maybe need to train some units to kill this spot. And we've still got Hanging Gardens under production too. Coming along slowly. Also, we should be working this tile here. East Korea has good base production. Actually, the +1 size is going to be pretty nice here. This is a city that will really benefit from that because it grows very slowly. But also just nice for the culture as well. Already producing pretty good culture here. Alright. Come on, we're only 4 culture points behind on this tile here. I want to get control of that. We are 2 culture points behind now. Still making our way up here. I'm going to be sad if a barbarian is like on this tile here and pops right onto my guys. Alright, you chop this. You can go do something more useful. This city needs to whip something. Probably a court. Actually, no, the monastery, I think. Because we're going to want to spread Christianity around. Honestly, the most useful thing you can do is probably to road over towards this spot. We've already kind of improved all the tiles. And oh, we could chop this. That's probably more useful. Oh, poor Moses out here. Alright. Chop, and then we'll mine that. Okay, now we should have enough to get metal casting. There we go. Okay, cradle. Looking better there. And yeah, we need to swap to settler, and then we'll whip that next turn. And that settler will go over there. Also, Willemstad, you are behind on this workboat. I need you to finish this a little bit faster. Okay, 3 turns, that'll do. Remember, we have to wait for borders to expand, so the workboat should get there right around the time that the borders expand. Alright. So now what do I do with these workers? Let's see, I'm going to need more labor up there. There's actually not much labor to do over here. I guess you can help chop this tile for right now, I guess. And then we'll get the monastery up, as we said. Alright, looking pretty good. Making good progress. Game's been nice and peaceful. Archer. Alright. Yeah, I guess we'll put the overflow into the monastery, but then like actually whip a missionary. Two-pop whip a missionary. Alright, you can come over here. You're going to need to garrison this spot. Alright, did we already road this tile? No. And I guess we'll need a name for this too. Yeah. Need a name for that spot too. How many times has this chariot spun around in circles? Alright. So we got a chop in here. And I guess we mine this while we can. Civil service will be nice. We'll finally be able to spread irrigation. Although that's not a tech I'm prioritizing that highly. Alright, so Statue of Zeus. Mostly going to try to get this with overflow. Yeah, I can chop these workers as soon as they're done. They can chop these two forests. And each one is, what, like 75 production with Statue of Zeus? So one more whip overflow should be enough with double chops to get very close to finishing that. Oh, you guys! Look! We finally took control of this tile! Ah, finally! After all that time, finally took control this time. I think I will keep the cottage because it's fairly mature. Finally got that, yeah. It was in the chat earlier, but that was when I noticed it. Alright, so Cradle needs to whip this. Whoop, there we go. That'll grow right back. And then we'll overflow on, hopefully finish the monastery. And that's going to that tile there. So can I get these two cities planted before the Hanging Gardens finishes so I get the extra population point? 1, 2, 3. Where's it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I think so. With a little roading help from these workers, I think I can get over there. I don't have construction yet, so I need to build the road on the north side of the river. And then this guy can finally cease spinning in circles. Alright, looks like we have enough to finish that. Alright, there we go. And we'll need a name for this city, you guys. This one with the sheep up here and the sheep in the lines on the north coast, I have no idea what this one is. This is a fairly low priority city. Cheap wine, that's a pretty good one. I'm good with that. Box wine. Let's go with boxed wine. Alright. Start with its granary. Boxed wine. What? Do I want to kill the worker turn to moving there? I guess so. I did this the wrong way. This worker should have moved here to road, and then that one could have moved to the sheep. So I wasted a worker turn there. That's okay. I'm not going to reload, though. All right. So we managed to get boxed wine done. All right, you. One over here. Come here. Okay. Yeah, so we'll road. We can. These workers can road this tile next turn. Oops, where are you going? Oh wait, no they can't. I need 3 of them and I only got 2. Oh well. Alright, anyway, so you're gonna you're gonna double whip this next turn. And then overflow will go back into the monastery, because I guess we don't actually need that to build missionaries, because we're an organized religion, but yeah, whatever. Alright, here comes the workboat from Willemstad. You can cancel working that forest now. Just barely enough to finish it. Alright, we're good here. Paradise and Cradle have just produced so many settlers in this game. Hanging Gardens 3 turns. Okay. Well, Hanging Gardens is 3 turns, and we can settle in... Yeah, we might actually delay the Hanging Gardens 1 turn to get the pop point. It's worth it to get a free pop point in that city. Definitely worthwhile. And I think I do have to delay it 1 turn. I think you guys are right. Alright, now we'll be able to build forges. So forges are going to be the next big thing to prioritize in a lot of these cities. Okay. I think I said I want to do ironworking because it's cheap, and then we'll hit literature, drama, music, philosophy, I think is the next path. Alright, so forges, going to build forges pretty much everywhere. Ironworking is 1 turn worth of research, so we just need to get like 100. Alright, you are going over to here. Just automate you for the first part of that journey. Someone got a great merchant. Okay, it wasn't Wang Khan. Sadly, these guys can't quite get the road done in time. I'm one worker turn short. Alright, well, I was gonna build this, but I think I want to whip this instead. Yeah, we can triple whip the forge next turn. Alright, this should finish. There we go, 3 turns on the Great Lighthouse. And then we'll work on Moai there next, I guess. Great Lighthouse is certainly going to help. Okay, so what do we want to do here now? I have cottaged all the tiles I can cottage that are grassland cottages, but we can put a cottage on Plains Riverside tile is a good tile to cottage. If we have this much food surplus, let's do that then. Alright, so I wanted you guys to chop for Paradise. Chop these 2 tiles, and then we'll see where we go from there. And I'm also going to whip overflow this. It is unfortunately a... Well, I can do the... I can whip the forge. I was going to say I can whip the monastery, but that would only be a 1-pop whip. We can whip for the forge, and then we'll get the overflow with organized religion plus forge on the whip overflow. And we're close on statue on Hanging Gardens, too. A lot of wonders. A lot of wonders here. We'll run this session at least up through getting Hanging Gardens and Great Lighthouse, and then we'll go from there. I don't know how much more time I have available though. Okay, so you need to work starvation for another turn. This worker though is pretty much free. Come back here. Alright. Chop. Oh, what's that? We got a Hwacha running around in here. Where's Link Mario Samus so he can tell me he wants me to zoom in on the it says he always does an AI survivor. Well, that was for you, Link Mario Samus. If you watch this on YouTube later. Yeah, we gotta delay this for 1 turn. It's not gonna get taken by the AI, trust me. It's like trust. That won't get taken. Now, do we want to preserve this forest? It wouldn't be a terrible lumber mill. No, that we can chop this one too. Let's do this. Paradise, you take this forest. And then East Korea, you take this forest in case we want to swap back. And we can grow. We can continue slowly growing here. And we can chop, and then that can go for a chop there too. Yeah, the units in Civ4 do not look amazing when you zoom in on them. They look interesting. All right, so that's a 4 food tile. Again, I would farm some of these if I could, but I cannot, so I will be cottaging these, and the city's just going to be stuck at 4 food surplus. All right. So, oh, we need oh, we can't quite whip this yet. Oh, because we don't have organized religion in here. That's right. That's why we can't quite afford it. Okay. Well, in that case, give me this. Give me this. And we'll whip here, and we'll get overflow. Put it towards the monastery, and then we'll work on the forge, just so we can get that whip on happiness working in our favor. All right. At this city, it's already pretty much worked all the tiles it can. That's fine. I think I want to whip the forge here long term. Yeah, we'll convert some of that pop into a forge. Okay, that looks good. So what's the name for this city, you guys? The one that's we're planting here in the Arctic? Alright, definitely on forge. Gonna be putting forges up pretty much everywhere right now. Another forge here as well. This is gonna be on a long-term route over to here. Fish sticks. Yakutsk. Great scientist. That better not be the philosophy great scientist. I actually like East Pole. That's pretty good. A lot of good suggestions. I like East Pole out of all of them the most. Alright. So I think the granary is actually before lighthouse because we have the 5 food tile. If we didn't have the 5 food tile, it would be lighthouse first. Okay. East Pole. Alright, so now we go back to Hanging Gardens. Again, the +1 pop's going to be very nice there as well. Alright, choppity chop for Paradise. Like, +1 population for Paradise is like whatever. But +1 pop for some of these cities like East Pole and Beach Episode, that's a big deal. Alright, let's see if we can stop starving ourselves. Oh, we're going to get Great Lighthouse. This is going to be a double wonder turn. That's pretty nice. I like Admonton Scott too. Okay. And I think I was going to drop a cottage here. How much food? No, you need... if you're going to cottage, it needs to be up here. You don't have enough food to cottage those tiles, so... Okay. Might as well dump what cottages we can while we have worker labor here. Alright, so this is a Christian missionary, so we want this to go to a city that can pump out Christian missionaries, which is probably East Korea. Will be a good place. Just because it has a lot of production and it can get like the monastery done, that sort of thing. And then we'll have to get Confucian monasteries out of here. And then we still need Hinduism out of this spot. Alright, so can you whip the forge? No, you need more production too. Alright, let's turn on research. We are break even at about 33% right now, so we are losing money because we have found it in a lot of cities. How many do we have? We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have 11 cities right now. Wang Khan has 5. Okay. Yeah, we've kind of run all over the map, haven't we? But we're about to get double wonders, and Great Lighthouse does affect a lot of cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of our cities are on the coast. Yeah. And 2 more on the coast yet to go.
You should
Double
hammer your
wonders.
iron when it is glowing hot.
All right. Do we have iron anywhere? And I said, I think we want to go literature, drama, music. Hanging Gardens. I like the Wonder movies in Civ4, where they show like building each of the things. Very nice. +1 pop in each city. Also +1 health. It's easy to forget that +1 health in all cities for all time is pretty nice too. All right, and there's the other one. Now this is not one of our 3 legendary cities, but I mean we'll take it. Very nice. Probably need to start doing more with great people though, because we're gonna want to get great people. Definitely want to have some golden ages, and we'll definitely gonna want to get like great library as well. All right. So your next thing is probably Moai, and then we can do the forge. Moai is probably better. Where is Moai? Here it is. And this is probably the correct way to build it too, is just go max production. Or do we whip the forge and then actually no, we max food, forge, overflow from forge into Moai. But we'll work these tiles over the 1 production tiles, over the 1 commerce tiles. Okay, now you go onto the forge with your overflow. Moses still wandering around in the desert. Alright, I think I can just, instead of having you wander, just make sure nothing spawns. Source of iron near cradle. Oh, it's under cradle. Okay. Oh! Hello there. So we already have iron, but look at this. Well, howdy there. Fox Wine just became a much better city. We'll take it. Look at Port East Pole. This is what this city is stuck with until it can get the fish in its borders. Where's the workboat? Here's the workboat. It's not far off, though. Now we just need the borders to pop, and then the workboat's ready. Well, that's about as painless a setup phase as we can get there. Alright, you guys, so you don't waste a turn, come here and turn into farming. Alright, now I've got an archer here. You come to East Pole. Desert Lullaby. Okay, no. And no. That's a nope. We're gonna whip the forge, because you're whipping off garbage tiles that we don't care about. And then I'm gonna have you build a couple of swords. I think if we have 2 swords, plus the chariots, plus the axe, that should be enough to capture that, I think. Alright, so we just whipped there. Willemstad we whipped relatively recent. Oh no, never mind. Willemstad's good to be whipped too. Okay, well, forge it is. Let's get that in place. Power up our future whips. It's a shame we don't have open borders with Wang Khan for more trade routes, but he will not sign them with us. Maybe we can find some friends overseas. Alright, Cradle, you're going to... no, you are not working that. You are going to stay on tiles. I realize you're at the happiness cap, but that's fine. The forge will give you +1 happiness from gold. You're already making use of that representation happiness. Goldfish. Said we're going to whip your forge as well. And we do need to get our state religion in some of these cities. Some of these cities are missing our state religion, so we do want to get missionary spreads in them too. Some of these cities, once the forges are done, we can spread them in there. Anyway, thanks for subscribing, Slash. Hope you're enjoying it. Does Cradle get an extra production? No, see, Cradle actually does not get any extra production on the center tile. Actually did not get anything from being on an iron tile. So, nope, did not actually gain the benefit. Still just the same yield. So, slightly unfortunate that I'm not going to complain. I mean, it would be better if it was like on this tile here, but I'm not going to complain. I'm pretty happy with that. Alrighty, we're looking pretty good here. I gotta chop into Statue of Zeus. Paradise, what's the whip counter here? What's the purpose of that Tundra City? So this city might look like garbage, but when the borders pop and it can work the fish tile, it actually becomes a decent city. That's always the big requirement in Civ 4 is, does the city have food? If it has food, then it's worth founding, basically. Yeah, so as long as the city has food, it's worthwhile. It's worth having. Anyway, so the capital is at 21 culture per turn. East Korea is at 31 culture per turn. East Korea, slow down there, buddy. And we're at 14 per turn here. But fortunately, Statue of Zeus is worth 10 culture per turn. So that'll help out a bit. And then we need to get more religions in here. We need to spread more religions into this city. We're also close to whipping the Jewish monastery. We'll whip that, and then the overflow will go into Statue of Zeus. And then we'll probably whip the forge. So these are our 3 legendary cities that we're focusing on in this game. Definitely need to get more missionary spreads going so that we can continue building more temples and such. So we're pushing towards the music. Obviously, there's a great artist for free at music, but the other thing is the cathedrals. Where are the cathedrals? I think they're under buildings. Here we go. So like we'll be building the Jewish cathedral. Where is that? Here it is, Jewish synagogue. It's the plus 50% culture, so that's really nice. Unfortunately, we don't have incense, so can't do that, but requires temple to total. So part of the reason why we need to spread our religion is just so we can build temples in all these cities, and then we can use them to build cathedrals and start stacking up the cultural multipliers. So that's why spiritual is usually the trait that you most want in a culture game, and I probably would have picked it, but I have picked Willem because our son's name is William. All right, so swords. We need that's the one city with the barracks. We need some swords so that we can go capture this barb city. Yeah. If you've seen a lot of Civ 4, this is probably familiar to you, but a lot of this stuff is pretty unintuitive. All right, so there's a great spy that's being built by jungle. Where was that? Near Stoned. Oh no, the jungle's spreading. Fortunately, we can now cut down jungle tiles. It is unintuitive if you haven't played this game a lot, but basically, like, if you have food, then it's worthwhile. Then, like, it's worth founding a city. Now, this spot here, Poverty Point, is garbage. Oh, there's a barb galley. Do I have any fishing nets? I do have one fishing net up here. Okay, Goldfish might have to build a trireme to kill that thing. Well, let's get the Hindu missionary first, and then we can go from there. Yeah. All right. Let's build another cottage, shall we? We certainly have the food for it. So this is, we're gonna whip the forge as soon as that whip penalty wears off, and then I probably will try to spread more of these religions. All right, we should probably cottage this tile again. Let's see, hold on. That gets Paradise down to 8 turns remaining. And we can actually whip Statue of Zeus if we needed to, but I think we'll whip the Jewish monastery and overflow into it. Actually, we could probably whip the forge and overflow. That might be better. Oh no, we can't do that this turn. Never mind. Can't do that this turn. We need the chop to go into Statue of Zeus itself. We can just chop this tile. Yeah, you chop this tile. Also, someone's working this bare plains tile. Paradise, you should be working this tile instead. There we go. And yeah, East Korea is very slowly growing. Poor city. Work this tile so it grows a little bit faster. And then you can pump out some missionaries. That, or you can build Chichen Itza. Shwedagon Paya, we might actually, maybe we should build Shwedagon Paya just for the culture. I'm gonna skip Parthenon because it's too expensive and doesn't do anything. But Chichen Itza, Shwedagon Paya, we have the doubling tech, so we might as well build these for the extra culture. East Korea pretty much is just on a wonder of some kind, pretty much permanently. I'm trying to like baby this city. Alright, anyway. Just making sure nothing bothers me here. The 3 legendary cities are Cradle, Paradise, and East Korea. These are the not unexpectedly, they're the first cities I founded, which is often the case. All right, let's see if East Korea can get this done. Come on, 90% dice roll. All right, so far we've succeeded on every religious spread, but that is not guaranteed at all. So like our first religion that we're spreading is Judaism, and then I think Christianity will be like the second because we've already got several spreads of that. And then we'll go from there. We still only have Confucianism in 2 cities. We still only have Hinduism in 1 city. Eventually we'll go free religion, but for right now, organized religion's too important.
Some few to be chewed and digested.
All right, so this unlocks the epics and Great Library. Great Library is a high priority. This we probably put in the capital for the extra scientists. And then we'll probably put National Epic in there too for the same reason. All right, anyway, on to drama. Drama is nice because we get the theaters. And I believe it does creative give cheap theaters. I'm trying to remember if the trait gives them. Yes, it does. So that's actually pretty nice. They are very, very cheap with creative trait. Just more ways to get culture in. Okay, so boxed wine obviously is working its 2 good tiles. With this, we probably don't need. Well, actually, I was gonna say we probably don't even want to whip that, but I think we actually do. All right, I think East Pole's borders 2 more turns. I was gonna say expands next turn, but it's 2 more turns. All right, and then you can chop this, and that should finish Statue of Zeus. We'll whip this to completion. It's again one of those inefficient 1-pop whips, but it's what it is. Maybe I should have saved it. Honestly, I probably should have 3-pop whipped the Forge instead, but oh well. This will help us finish Statue of Zeus, and then we can do Forge after that. This will also get us more culture in, because this city's kind of lagging on culture. I don't know why I'm still bothering to move this worker around. Will the Barb Galley chase the workboat? I don't know. I think it's heading in this direction, but I don't know. I'm hoping it does not come down here and pillage this fishing net, because that'll set back that city a decent bit. Alright, so we want to... No, I was going to say we want to whip this forge, but... It's still 4-pop? Hold on. We have organized religion in here, so... if we do this, we should be able to whip it next turn, I believe. Because we get 45 per whip with Judaism plus... Oh wait, no, we don't get 45 per because we don't have the forge done yet. We get 75 plus 37. If we work this for like 2 turns, we can whip the forge. Something like that. But then again, I said what we wanted to do was just grow on these tiles and then add these afterwards. Alright, anyway, so that's done. This city, no, do not work as scientist. I know we have representation. I still want you to grow. I want you to chop.
Wat heeft u nodig?
You guys, how about you road up towards this next city? We're actually not that far away from being able to capture this. We've got this sword in production. Maybe I can get another sword out of one of these cities. We're slowly trying to make progress. This is the only city that has a barracks, so I can take City Raider with this. The other thing let's do, let's pull this other chariot in this direction. I don't think Wang Khan's going to go after Stoned anytime soon. This poor city. Just working the water tiles. Just working the water tiles. Very slowly growing. Poor city. What's this city doing? That looks right. That looks pretty good. Let's keep an eye on this Barb Galley and see where it goes. It's just circling around up there. Alright, so we finished the Hindu missionary. Probably don't really need the monasteries here. We're not trying to win a cultural battle. Honestly, probably just stay on building missionaries because you're one of the very few cities that can build these right now. Let's see if we can get this in the capital. Got another one of these big honkin' dice rolls. I think we're down to like 70% odds. We got Confucianism in East Pole. Okay. I guess that makes sense because the holy city's right here. Alright, so this chop should finish Statue of Zeus, and then that'll get this city up to 28 culture per turn. Oh, Barb Galley. Still just the 3 archers. So right now if I attack, the odds are 16%. If we take City Raider, they go to 20%. See, still not very good. You need the swords with the City Raider attack bonus to get decent odds. As I said, we're going to need at least one of them. Alright, what were the workers doing over here? I'm not entirely sure. We need 2 turns. Yeah, we need another turn's worth of income before we can grab that. Alright, so Willemstad. Oh, that's right. I was building a cottage here for Cradle. That's what I was doing. Okay. Not quite in position to whip that yet. I think I'm going to mine another one of these tiles. Let's go see if we can mine that over there. I also wouldn't mind having a better road connection in this area either, but... yeah, I'd like to go mine that tile. Oh well. Then again, I have these workers free over here, so maybe these guys can come over here and mine this.
Uw commando. Ik wacht op uw orders.
Chop. Need one more turn here. Alright, in that case, you guys come down here and you can help out at Stoned, which is still completely undefended. Meanwhile, you are going to drop cottages up here. Alright, and Cradle is going to do this forge, and then it's going to just start on the Great Library. Now, we don't have marble, so it's going to take a little while, but I can grow onto some of these hill tiles, and the production time will come down. It's an important wonder because we want those great scientists. And of course it's worth more culture as well. It's actually cheaper than the Parthenon, and it's a much more useful wonder. It's a shame we don't have marble. It really would be nice if we had marble somewhere. Oh well. No marble. We have not seen any marble on the map thus far. There might be some overseas, or might be some we can trade for long term, but not at the moment. Alright, we built the granary, so let's do the library for now. Well, actually, we should probably do the forge. Better long term. Alright, I'll turn on research. Oof. Working a bare grassland tile here. All right, we definitely could use more. Oh, you know what? Let's grab this tile, and we can farm that tile. Help out East Korea a little bit. All right, now East Pole finally becomes a real boy, an actual city. All right, there we go. Well, I think we will need a trireme eventually, but until I see that until I see a barb galley appear, like until I actually see it pop up, I'm not gonna invest in the trireme. If it looks like it's coming over to menace something, then I'll do what I can to stop it. But for now, it's not causing that many problems, so we'll leave it alone. All right, so there's the statue of Zeus, Chop. And I think let's finish this, and then I think that's a good stopping point for this session here. So let's play one more turn. And as I said, I think that'll be a good place to stop. We made a lot of progress. Oh, the Barb City actually just popped its borders. The workers were heading to Stoned, but Stoned there's not much going on at Stoned. I can use them for more important stuff. I haven't seen this very often. I rarely build the Statue of Zeus, and it was only added in the expansions. Now you might say, hey, these expansions came out like 15 years ago. It's like, well, yes, but I played a lot of the game before the expansions came out. All right. I'll put you on Forge now, but what we really need to do is get some more religions in here so we can build more monasteries. Still, that gets us up to 28 culture per turn. Helps even that out a bit. All right, East Korea. Let's get the monastery done because it's very cheap. And then I am hoping I can farm this so I can move this tile to here. And then we'll look to get the very cheap, we're going to look to get some of the very cheap, what do you call them? Theaters, yes. I don't know why it took me so long to come up with that. Theaters. Look at this popping its borders. These stupid barbarians. All right. It looks like we've managed to finish this at boxed lines just in time. Very nice. All right, so Cradle, we're going to whip the Forge. There we go. So that'll actually increase the happiness cap by 1. Actually doing a good job considering how few happiness resources we have here, just the 3. So we'll finish this, and then as I said, I think we're going to go on to Great Library here, because that's a big E for us. East Korea, we want to finish this. I'm going to pop out the monastery, and I'm going to pop out the theater, because it'll be super cheap. And then I'm probably going to have it do Chichen Itza, just because it's so inexpensive to build. It's only, 11 turns? And like it's less than that if I like do this. So yeah, I think that we'll just pop that out. Chichen Itza and Shwedagon Paya. Probably these two are the next ones it does. Meanwhile, other cities need to build more Jewish missionaries because we need more of them. Desert Lullaby is going to be really good for getting more missionaries out too. And like some of these other cities are almost to the point where like their basic infrastructure is done and then they can pop out missionaries. Like Willemstad's almost done with its infrastructure. After it's done this cheap library, like this is another place I can get missionaries. It doesn't have any production, but that's fine. We can just pop it out with whips and such. And of course we'll be able to build Globe Theater in one of these cities for more culture. It's not a cheap thing to build, but it is more culture. And we're getting close to the free Great Artist at Music Tech, too. Calendar will help? Well, will it? We actually looked at this earlier in the game. It's like, will it help with happiness? There are no calendar resources here. There's 0. And unfortunately, Wang Khan doesn't want to trade. I'd be happy to trade with him, but he's unhappy with me. See, he won't trade for anything. He won't even sign open borders. As he said, sourpuss. Maybe we can get currency after that. Maybe we can get, maybe after we get music, and we'll probably have to go music then philosophy, because we want to lock down that religion as well. Maybe after that we can go optics and try to find some people out there in the sea. But anyway, so let's save it here, and let me see if I can go find Mr. Williams. I can show him on stream before signing off. 1 second. It's almost time to feed him again. All right, that's fine. Okay, I was told he is asleep, so he will not be making an appearance on stream this week. So not today then. All right, well, thanks again, everybody. Thanks for stopping in, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Until next time, take care, folks. See you again soon.